joking, like you're not gonna be as strong as us because we're big burly bitches. If I get a crew, that's gonna be the name of our crew. We're gonna be the big burly bitches.
I'll retire Jin and I'll play a cleric.
Well, no, you can always have Jin go like track down the Leviathan, and then you can play another character.
Oh, that's true.
You know, that's why I love it when you guys are like super creative with your backstories, because it gives you an opportunity to have your backstory be a break. You know, let your character go do something related to your backstory, then run a different character. I'm okay with that. Just saying.
So we all need to have alternate builds. What level do you want these alternate builds? Should our main character take a hiatus at?
I think level 8 is good for now. Always a level below your current level, just to kind of for flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, have an alternate. You should always have an alternate build level for whatever reason. But it's one of the things I loved about how Sam Riegel played Scanlan was that it reinforced that idea that you don't actually have to play the same character the entire campaign. You know, the campaign is a window of time within a world, and within that window of time, within that world, I mean, there's no real rule that says you have to play the same character the whole time. And I think the way Sam played Darrington really kind of proved the point that the campaign is just the playground. It's how your players play the characters.
Yeah.
You know, that's the fun part of the game. Oh, I'm so excited for March, for Monday night game. I wish Brandon didn't have to work nights. I really wish.
But I get paid more.
Yes, you do get paid more. SpaceX and Hawthorne like to pay you more.
Yeah. Freaking, I had to bring to our attention and like, hey, this is a potential OSHA violation, and that'll cost us $14,000 a day. I also need to get some shrink wrap for this wire. Either that or some crimps.
Oh, one of my favorite players is watching us right now. If you guys ever get a chance, there's this really kick-ass fucking channel I like to watch. It's a bunch of... It's more Scottish passion. There's a channel called Make This Epic. And they are playing a campaign, and they do like a lot of online gaming stuff as well, like normal, like, but anyways, I love Scottish accents. I mean, I love Scottish accents, and watching people play D&D with a Scottish accent, it's just so much fun. It's so cool.
But are they actually?
You mean
Scots?
when most people?
Oh yeah, they're Scots, bro. They're legit.
But can they speak
Scots.
the Gaelic though?
As most people play dwarves, you mean?
They do it.
I'll play my dwarves with a down, one of them boomhauer accents. Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
Tell you what, I'm a paladin of damn there Moorland.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
I personally go for the prospector dwarves. Give me my pickaxe and my old
and I'll be diving deep into your cave.
Happy, grumpy, dumpy.
Wait,
yep, they are.
Happy, grumpy, dumpy.
Yep, they were all. Those were all the
one of them
dwarves
deep
that I know.
diving cave diggers. He goes right in today. Bend over. Here come Dumpy.
It's so true. I only wish I had enough people that came up with that concept.
The beginning of this episode is just us trying different accents when nobody can see us, and then people in chat trying to guess who was doing that voice.
I mean, I think all our voices are pretty distinct from one another, though.
Yes.
Oh, they're stinky, all right. Your voices are stinky.
Hey, man. I tell you what, I would speak like this.
Man.
Gafar has now gone a little bit more falsetto tone.
Mr. Johnny Depp says I will smell like cigarettes and wine.
I smell like cigarettes and sex.
And wine. Cigarettes and sex. Ew.
Yeah,
You smell like
yeah.
combo.
There you go. There you go. Yep. I smell like a deep down south brothel is what I smell like.
You smell like a clam bake.
Oh
yeah.
No.
We're gonna go down to Boston, yeah, and we're gonna have ourselves a fucking clam bake, yeah.
No, it's too cold for
Don't
clam
don't
bake
worry
in
about
Boston.
them fucking keys, yeah. We'll get you some fucking khakis.
I like
Throw on
me
a clam bake.
I like me a
some lobster.
sausage conversation. The sausages.
You like them sausages? You like them sausages? Oh my goodness, boy! I'll give you some sausage.
So we should get into like a recap or.
And on the awkwardness that is Omni, I'm just gonna tell you a couple things.
As
in
115
seconds.
hits. You son of a. Oh. So official.
Salty dog.
So official. Yes.
We counted down, babies.
We called in.
You
we
know,
counted in.
When Mama
It's
Shannon's
official.
not here to keep us in line, you know what happens?
We poop on her legacy.
You act like she isn't an instigator. Like she
Well,
doesn't
shit on her
partake. Like
legacy.
she equal parts is contributing to the chaos that is you. Come on, give her credit where credit's due.
Never.
Oh my god.
I refuse.
Oh my god. So true.
Fuck some shit
Yeah, I haven't heard from her, so I'm either assuming she
She did.
Well, no.
I don't think she gave the thumbs up when you asked if everybody's good to play either.
Yeah, I think I only got like 3 thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
So I know sometimes her life can get hectic. Yeah, I see a Valev thumb, a Goblin thumb, and a Jin thumb, but I don't see a Medi thumb. So unfortunately, we may be without her tonight, which is okay for now.
I mean, we're just navigating.
She's kind of run out of kid juice boxes to consume on the ship anyway, so what does she care?
Yeah.
True.
We were unable to restock on the island for her kid juice box fix.
Yes, because you guys had to make a quick run out of Earl Bay. As according to Captain Omni, not picking a side seems to be the best choice to make, as you guys abandoned all the other ships
and a little itty bitty.
And the Hawk to the Clovis Conclave fleet that was bearing down on the Earl Bay.
We kind of abandoned them. Like we had a clean shot out.
We had a clean without
shot.
helping. It's abandoned.
No, we helped because the thing was we had a clear getaway. We were completely scot free, and then Captain Omni's like, let's turn around and fuck some shit up. And we're like, okay, fine, let's do this. We're going back. We're going like, all right, let's charge into this with our illy dinky shit. And it was basically like running in with like, a cart on wagons versus 2 giant fucking tanks. Because we went through and
dude, you should be doing cap every week. I love that. That was fantastic. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to get into this dice game. My God. Where's my Where's my dice?
Then the rest of the crew was like, yo, Cap, we don't feel like fucking dying, yo, so let's get the fuck out of here, because
all right, cool.
Because Medi fucking died.
Yeah, she straight up died.
She
saw Jesus.
Well, I don't know if she saw.
She said, I said what I said. She saw who I said.
She saw vampire Jesus is what she saw. She's like, oh, fuck. In 3 days, Medi will rise from the grave, and then her lust and bloodlust will be insatiable.
No, her lust. She
lusty. She lusty, bloodlusty. She lusting over that Omni.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She likes.
When you can change your nether regions to whatever size and girth you want.
Eating some of that changeling blood. Gotta be.
Why does he keep choosing the baby carrot version?
Gotta be brewing in there somewhere.
It's more tactical.
It's more sleek.
Oh my
You
god,
tuck it in.
it's so weird not having the beard, man. But my main impetus for getting rid of the beard is to
Snuggle wuggle with baby Waby.
Yep, because every time I go to give him smooches on his cheek or do like the little he doesn't like it. I'm like, I don't want my son feeling negative about that. So I shaved it off this morning, and the first thing that happened is Callista came over with a sad face, and then she mimicked the skin touching skin, and she's like, okay, now I remember why I like it when you shave.
There is that.
You don't put any beard oil in to make it softer?
It's not about making it softer. It's just I was beard oiling it, and it just didn't make that much of a difference. And I think it was because my hair was too fine, so it just had that kind of, physically it looked full, but it really wasn't that full. It was pretty thin.
Did you use beard balm?
No, I used something that Callista got me.
The oil is merely just to keep your face moisturized. The balm is what you
then I wasn't
use
using balm. I was using,
Yeah, you use the oil to moisturize your face.
Cheers to the pirate adventure.
Cheers.
Great adventure. Of course, Omni's not watching. He's tweeting out, or he's
communicado with the Medi persons.
Is he?
Like, woman, where you at?
He's snitching?
He might be.
I could trust you.
He might be snitching.
You remember what we say, snitches get bitches. Wait.
Well, in that case, I'll never get a bitch because I never snitch.
Yeah. I ain't no sneaking rat.
Diva, they're calling you names.
No, we would never call Diva names. Absolutely.
Yes,
not.
we totally would. We totally would.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Debtors Gambit
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Sorry. Yeah.
You're about to fuck some people up. Like, yes, I don't got to go to work tomorrow because tomorrow is Sunday. And they'll call it to work. Dude, I thought it was Sunday because this dude I follow on Twitch, he was like, hey, happy Saturday. And I was like, yeah, it's Saturday. I got 2 Saturdays this weekend.
Yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. We are here with Debtors Gambit. We're minus Shannon. If she shows up later, we'll pop her back into the stream, but we haven't heard from her all day. Technically, I don't think I've heard from her all week, so I'm not really sure what she's up to. But, we got Catharn, Jin, and Omni, so we're going to go ahead and play today. But before we do, Monday night's Favorite Reborn has wrapped up. We're now working on a new campaign for the in-studio schedule that will be picking up in March. We're working on Pike's Promise. It will take place in the land of Isola and the city of Vasselheim. But you can still check us out Tuesday afternoons with Titan Survival, Tuesday evenings, with Denizens and Their Masters. Wednesday evenings, The Descendants, which is probably going to wrap up their first season within the next 2 or 3 sessions, because a couple of our players will be taking some time off, so we're going to kind of seasonal that one. Thursday, Stories of the Lost, which is our Star Wars game. Friday, we don't really have anything on deck for Fridays right now. We either do one-on-ones with creators, or we do creation sessions. The first Friday of every month, we do a one-shot, so we did do a one-shot last Friday. Saturday over on the D&D Club, we bring you the Graying Lands. And then Sundays, we do Debtors Gambit and an Absent Throne. And the Absent Throne is our live in-studio game that's on later on in the day. So with that, we're all caught up. Let's go ahead and jump into the recap. And I know we took last Sunday off because I needed to work on the ranch and get some stuff done there. So I might take us back a little bit. A couple things happened on Earl Bay. Number one, we learned about an organization that collects relics or tries to retrieve and maintain relics. And it would seem that at one point in time, the sisters used to work for this organization and had gone rogue. I believe it was Gatharn and somebody else that had met up with one of the drow females that was looking for the sisters and seemed very complimentary in the outcome that you had with that. We also had a conversation with the captain.
Linda?
Yeah, I'm pulling
the
up
blue
her,
orchid, the blue eye, or
pulling up her tab right now. Because I thought it was pulling up her tab.
Giggity.
Where the heck did I put her tab? Usually
Captain Linda Andros of the Blue Thorn.
That is so. Am I missing? I've been having some issues lately with OneNote where I've been reallocating some of my tabs and they haven't been. There's that. Ships of the Lucidian Sea. Holy crap. Oh, God, I had moved a couple tabs under the Earl Bay notes. That's why it went missing. Captain Cheney has been taken into custody to the Hawk. And the opaque eye currently does not have a captain, although it seemed that its crew, during the assault of the Clovis Concord fleet, still made an attempt to respond to that. But while in the barnacle, I believe it was Gatharn and Jin, correct? That had the conversation with the Drow looking for the sisters. And then, yes, there was a conversation with Linda Andros of the Blue Thorn and having a conversation quite in depth about the fact that she is widowed to the captain of the ship that you guys were originally on, Captain Trinity. And there was a heavy discussion in regards to Thorvald and what Thorvald's either up to or what his plans are or what's been going on with Captain Thorvald. But for the most part, we'd gotten to a point where information was being gathered. Some equipment was being gathered as well. And information was kind of like being discussed. But it was also at this point that when you concluded your conversation with Captain Linda Andros, you found yourself staring at an approaching fleet. And our previous activity basically had us breaking away from this fleet, trying to escape both Earl Bay and make your way out into the open sea. Yeah, I know, it's gone, Aki. Sorry. She's like, what? No beard? With that, the entire last session was, for the most part, the Storm's Eye, a sloop, a 3-deck sloop with a common deck, a cruise deck, and a hold, made its way through ships of the line, avoiding the cannonade fire and the attempt of the ships of the line to seize the Storm's Eye. However, once you escaped this incursion and found yourself out in the open sea, still near Earl Bay, the decision was made to make a course to Nicodranus, hold up there, possibly either make repairs to the Storm's Eye, or even possibly perhaps acquire a new ship, as Nicodranus is renowned for an area called the Restless Wharf that not only has a successful shipyard, but with the upheaval in the merchant guilds and the awareness that maybe this will afford an opportunity to garner a new ship, the team is now currently taking their first long rest in a while. You wake up the following morning, day 1 of your travels to Nicodranus. No sign of Medi this morning. You usually know that she lingers up in the crow's nest, her preferable place to crash from time to time. But it's eventually, Jin, you awake, Gatharn, you awake, Omni, you awake to the sounds of your busy crew doing a day's activity. There is still the occasional rainstorm that occurs, and the rain is there, but it's very more of a mist or a gentle drizzle, a bit kind of like overcast, nothing overtly nefarious about the weather. Day 1 of, I believe, of a 10-day travel from where you currently are to Nicodranus. What would you guys like to do?
I think what we were going to discuss was how to shorten that time span by utilizing...
Which you can use day one to do that activity, because according to the encounter rolls I've rolled for the next few days, there's nothing quite nefarious on the horizon. You've stuck to a chart that will keep you away, from the more notorious regions and where the Clovis Concord fleet or naval vessels might find their way. You've also stuck to a route that will keep you clear of the known location of Thorvald's fleet, because the decision you've made has neither indentured you or necessarily freed you to behave openly on the sea, because you haven't really chose sides. You just have chosen your own side at this point and are currently making that 10-day journey to Nicodranus. And this is day one of that 10-day journey. So what would you guys like to do today?
Well, Gatharn is going to train with Keth.
Okay.
When he's not training with Keth, then he'll take his position at the helm.
Okay. Jin,
but same thing, running combat drills with the rest of the crew afterwards. But personal training with Keth. I want to learn how she fights.
Fair enough.
Jin will just be at the bow, crisscross applesauce, just staring out at the ocean.
Okay. Omni, you've got a busy day, Omni. You are the captain of the Storm's Eye.
I want to oversee a lot of the training that Gatharn is doing with everybody else, just to kind of get an overall idea of what each person's capabilities are combat-wise. And then also try and start formulating plans and strategies for different scenarios of if we're coming up to, a larger ship that has guns on a certain side, what's the actual motions that each person goes through for their specific job to execute this battle plan. We don't have much to work with, but we have speed and we can move around a lot. So trying to create battle strategies around that.
Okay.
Oh, we also wanted to address, not we, but as the royal we, the sails that Linda was using on her ship, the basically kite sails. I know Omni wanted to talk to Gromit about manufacturing something like that for us as well.
Okay. Yeah, something that connects to the main mast that can fold out or something and provide a more surface area for greater speeds.
We'll do that. Okay. Fair enough. Jin, being up on the bow of the ship, you've got a little bit of time for yourself. And you hear a familiar voice behind you.
I'll be right back.
So what are you doing up there, Jin? As you see Medi kind of standing behind you. She's kind of leaning against the rail, just watching you.
Captain, is there anybody else around? Is it just me?
No, it's just Medi. You and Medi.
Hey, Medi. Any just sitting out watching the ocean. What are you doing directly behind me there?
Well, I was just watching it from up above. Everybody else seems to be content with... She looks over at where Gatharn is training with Keth, and Omni seems to be having a conversation with a couple of the crew as well as Gromit. You seem to be acting a little bit more solitude than normal, Jen.
Well, everybody else seems to have jobs and stuff, and Captain still hasn't assigned me with anything, so I'm trying to in my head here, trying to think of new lines to my lemons and lime song. I think I heard of it. I at least got the inspiration on our first day on Captain Raylene's ship. I think I heard it through the walls, but it may have just been, all the other voices in my head. So, I'm just trying to get more words in there.
You have a lot of voices in your head, Jin.
That inner conscience telling you to do or not do things.
It's kind of weird.
Is it though? You don't have things to tell you not to do something, like when you decided to,
that's just when I'm hungry. It's not necessarily my conscience.
Yeah, maybe you should find one, and then maybe you wouldn't people that are supposed to be here to support one another.
She just kind of laughs and goes, "Yeah, I'm a bit hungry." She goes to one and she wanders off.
Okay, cap.
So let me understand something, Omni. You want me to do what now? Can you describe what her sails were like, what they did?
Basically, it created more surface area to capture and move more wind, but it was all kind of compact, and it folded inward towards the center section of the boat off of the main mast and then the front mast as well. So there were these extra sections that kind of spanned out, it moved quick. They were really fast.
Oh. Well, I could make the sails. I don't know really how to engineer the cabling or the rope for purposes of the sails, but I don't see why it would be all that hard to make the sails, I guess. Let me go see if I can gather up some material. And
Stitch should have gotten all of that before we had left.
Stitch and Gromit are currently speaking with you.
Oh, cool.
So you can kind of cover both bases. And then Gromit looks up. It'd be a little difficult to engineer, but I can handle it.
Jin.
Cap. Maddie says she's hungry.
Okay.
No, like she's...
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
She's got like the potion, the elixir stuff that helps with that.
Then why was she going around just...
She's just messing with you.
You know what?
She was making a
maybe
joke.
Because I don't have a position on the ship and
Jin,
I don't really have a place to stay. But
she was
honestly,
making a joke.
you should
Anyways,
take into the well-being of your crewmates
your
a little bit more seriously.
Your carpentry work.
Honestly, right now I don't feel
Jin,
like
do you know how to make stuff?
I'm gonna start a
Do you know how to build things?
And
you know how to you know how to build things. Your carpentry work. You make stuff. Yes.
No.
What were you doing on the ship before?
Mostly sweeping, mopping.
You weren't a deckhand.
Giving the captain food, bringing it to him, leaving, going back into the kitchen. You look like you're angry. I'm gonna give you a moment just to,
Can you
find your center. I'll be right back, and Jin will just wander off to the boat. So.
Cool. Well, when we get into Nicodranus, we will talk to the architects and engineers there, see if we can get some designs and official plans made up to get those collapsible, expandable mast system built or retrofitted. Or we just scrap that idea and get rid of this ship and do it on a different ship. That might be potentially. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We have to get to Nicodranus first, and then that's going to be a lot of deciding points right there.
Captain, word, please.
Mm.
Since Brackish kind of standing off to the side.
What's up?
Well, once we get to port, do you want me to retain the crew?
Yes.
Usually you commission out their fee, and then you draw up new contracts for the next responsibilities and duties.
Okay.
What I recommend, we maybe pick 1 or 2 for promotion.
Yeah.
Your
recommendations?
Well, I mean, I think making Gromit the head engineer will allow him to hire others to potentially work. I guess, Captain, my main concern is, were we thinking of getting a bigger ship when we get to Nicodranus?
That would be, it would have been nice to get a bigger ship just by, taking one over in however that last skirmish ended up. But yeah, if we sell this ship and have the funds to get a bigger one.
Captain, can I make an observation? Your subtlety as a pirate is not very good.
Oh, we never try and really be subtle.
That's my point. You see, piracy is an art. If this is the route you're going to take us down, we don't want to actively make it known that we're trying to do things. We are sneaky bastards, as they say. We look charming, we sound charming, and we play along until the opportunity presents itself. If you're standing there on dock...
So far, it sounds like all of the things that we've been doing.
Except you say it out loud, sir. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh. That's not just...
You watch as Nala comes over.
That's not just a thing that
Nala comes
cool
over
with.
and kind of... He shoves his husband out of the way. Look, Captain. My husband's not very bright about these things. All he's really saying is maybe have some of that conversation on the inside of your head as opposed to the outside of your head. Because it can be confusing to the crew sometimes.
Noted.
Now, come on, you brute.
Inside
he pushes Brackish, and we got chores to do. And the 2 Goliaths go kind of off to kind of issue orders to the crew. Gromit and Stitch seem to be working together on the idea and pattern that you set about for them. Gatharn, you and Keth are doing routines, and she reaches up ever so gently to your left side or your right side of your mouth and brushes away the little bit of mayonnaise.
I eat and I trade.
And you fornicate.
Oh, that too.
Oh, yeah, you do that a lot. I mean,
fornicate, fight.
I can only imagine what Captain Raylene must be missing out on.
The crucial
right now.
3 F's to any young growing man's diet.
Any young growing goblin's diet. Oh my God. So with you and Keth spending a couple hours of training, go ahead and give me an insight check really quick, Gatharn, as you spend most of the morning routine with her.
Insight, that is a 7.
Her style and method, you recognize she's definitely a monk. And you've already spoken to her about the Order of the Blue Sun that she may be affiliated with. But the combat style from a hand-to-hand perspective is completely unfamiliar to you. 3/4 of the time during practice, she outmaneuvers you every time. You get the feeling that this definitely precludes the idea that possibly she's been holding back in some of her abilities. She's just a closed book of unknown thoughts. But there is a little bit of there's just that little bit of energy between the two of you. The sense of, as long as your dedication to the crew and the ship remain expected and you don't do anything to fuck with me, you know, that vibe kind of keeps the two of you training all day. As far as the training goes, give me a strength check really quick.
Uh, 19.
Okay, now give me a con check with advantage.
That's just plus my modifier, right?
Yep.
Plus 4, so that would be 17.
17. The morning fades into mid-afternoon. You're tired, but not exhausted. You feel like it was a good workout, kept you on your toes. Jen, anything you want to do throughout the day to try to accomplish? For the most part, Omni is either working with Stitch and Gromit, Gatharn is training, Medi is being sulky and kind of meandering around the deck. Omni did mention something about carpentry work to you earlier in the morning. Get that fly, Jen. Get that fly.
More like Omni's carpentry mention. Oh, now you want me to be a carpenter? Where was that when you were handing out rolls, motherfucker? Punk ass bitch. Go in your captain's quarters. Think about shit.
Like, fuck you.
Jin, he's gonna be on the bow, just like chilling, and then also he's gonna check like his pockets. He's gonna pull out
the bow. Maybe if you knew what the
it's
fuck
my
you were
second language,
about,
motherfucker. I can barely speak English.
That's very, very convenient when it's the language that you speak all the time, every day.
I speak Vietnamese at home, even to my white girlfriend. She don't know what the fuck I'm telling her, but I'm saying it. All right, but
how many languages you speak, motherfucker?
Yeah, you barely speak Italian. You beautiful olive-toned man. Keep talking to me like that, I might fall in love.
This light coming through right now is really nice, actually. The skylight it's warm. It's toasty.
Your connection is amazing today, Chaz. So I'm assuming
hardwired, baby.
Yeah. Baby.
You got me hardwired.
It's nice.
So
it's the pauses that really make
So you're sitting on the bow.
Yes, thank you, Daddy. I'm sitting on the bow. And he's gonna come upon the book of the Leviathan, and he's gonna, what's this? And he's gonna take a gander.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you take some time to read
real smart.
more of the chapters.
Real bright. It's not bad. It's not bad. Dirty 20.
Most of the eyewitness accounts are done in either interview portions of the book, but almost all of them have a common theme to the content, and that is, it would appear that the majority of the sightings or the understanding of the superstition or the explanations where some of these witnesses claim to have seen this cursed ship has been around an island known as Vadke, as well as near an island known as Bawali. And you kind of focus on this a little bit, trying to, see if there's more information there, dig a little bit deeper. Most of these witnesses were either sailors or people that were participants doing other crew duty. And the interviews range anywhere from, 2, 3 years ago, a month ago, 6 months ago. And that's what's so weird is like there's this weird timeline around all of these supposed understanding of this thing called the Leviathan and its nature. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't make sense. Some of it just feels like I'm going to make up this story so I can get in this book that this person is writing, and whatever they're doing with this information, I'll be a part of it. Whether they believe me or not is irrelevant.
No,
but
my question is, does Jin get the heebie-jeebies?
I would say with that role, there's a connection there that Jin is starting to put together, and it's kind of creeping him out a little bit. Yeah.
I'll skip run to Gatharn.
Gatharn is on the middle hold, kind of toweling off after dumping a big old thing of water on himself, and Kath is kind of cleaning up as they finish their workout routine. And
Gatharn, trip, eat shit, slide like all the way to Gatharn's feet.
Insight check.
Go for it.
I just want to see if this is daylight or nighttime, Jin.
Yeah, go for it.
Deception.
It's up to you.
That's an 8.
12. I rolled a 4, but I have a +8.
I mean, nighttime Jin is actually pretty predictable in their kind of dark, broody self that they are. A skipping, running, out of control Jin doesn't quite feel like nighttime Jin, but it could be. Who knows?
Yeah, what's up, kid?
I show him the book while I'm laying on the floor. It's scary.
Scary book. All right. I looked through the book.
It's
right
a lot
behind
of
Githarn.
yeah,
Like
it's
right
a lot
here. Right here. Scary part right here.
It's mostly journal entries of people claiming to see this ship that is described as a cursed ship that floats amongst the Lucidian Sea between Tal'Dorei, Marquette, and Wildmont. Most of the interviews seem to be centered around people that have seen it near Vodka and Bawali. There's inconsistencies in the information, but the one thing that's consistent is the idea that the vessel is cursed.
I'm looking for patterns. Is there a specific time of year that it usually shows up? Is there a specific moon time that it shows up? Is it
Off
during
of
the day? Is it
Jin's
during
previous
the night?
role and pointing out this section, give me investigation with advantage as you kind of pour into the detail a little bit more.
Investigation. That's 19.
19. It appears that the sightings are either in the fall or the spring.
All right, and we're just getting in through spring right now, right?
Correct.
We're going almost into summer at the moment.
Correct. You're near the tail end of spring and the beginning of summer. And the current weather that you're kind of dealing with is that kind of late spring weather that forms out in the seas.
All right, other pattern that I'm going to be looking for is if it happens during spring and fall, where they're most likely to pop up. Is it more likely to show up in Vacay during the spring, or the Wali during the fall, that kind of thing, or is it more erratic?
It's more erratic than that. However, with that roll, you would also note that it would occur during the heavy, based on the journal entries and what you're reading, you and Jin kind of begin to also look at sections of the journal that talk about it happening mostly along major trading routes. So most of these eyewitnesses were either working for the guilds or working for the naval fleet. So these sightings aren't based on very kind of secluded regions of those areas of the sea. They're very busy, they're very busy travel lanes of the sea. But yet, why these witnesses? Why focus on such a limited factor of witnesses? It's strange.
All right. Now the witnesses, what vessels were they on? Were they on merchant ships? Were they on military vessels? Were they on pleasure cruises?
Half would have been trades vessels, and the other half would have been military vessels. There's not much of a burgeoning tourist or luxury trade in naval or in boating perspective. If you pleasure cruise, it's your own ship that you do it with. There's not a burgeoning kind of industry around that.
And then did they list the time of day that they would frequently happen?
All the interviews describe the incidents happening at night.
Not dusk, not dawn, but
all at
night.
At night.
I'm now looking for any not inconsistencies, but any common phenomena that might have happened prior to the ships being spotted.
Give me a history check as you begin to aggregate all this information.
17 plus 2, 19.
The equinox.
How far away are we from the equinox?
You're maybe 2 weeks away from the transition from spring to the summer equinox. And there's definitely a link to that transitionary kind of seasonal. Like you're looking at the timestamps, the interviews, and everything. All the sightings are around either the fall equinox or the summer equinox.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do at this point is go get the charts. I'm going to try and triangulate basically where the most common sightings are located at on the trade routes.
Okay.
And see if there's any cross sections where they would be, where they're centralized, basically.
Yeah. You'll spend the rest of the afternoon doing that. Oh, we lost Jin.
All right, now tell me all the dirty details.
So what's with the Oh, never mind.
All right, so basically we got to go to that island in order to find the Leviathan. Got it.
What? We're not gonna find the spooky ship, are we? No.
Well, I'd rather just avoid the cursed ship. So I would want to know where it would pop up and where we might be, because we'd be leaving Nicodranus possibly by that time. And it depends on how soon we get there. If we get there within a week. Now, you said it happens near the equinox or particularly on the equinox?
On it.
Okay. So we won't be at sea regardless. Currently, we won't be at sea. All right. I start making notes, like annotations and whatnot of everything that I found. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm looking through the charts and trying to basically triangulate where it would most likely be seen and possibly a point of origin.
Okay. So you'll spend the rest of the day doing that.
Yep.
Day one is about to close out. Anything you guys want to wrap up in day one before we start day two?
Well, I'm going to turn into nighttime, Jin, and I'm going to go ask Keth if she has the transcription of the book that was on the other captain's ship.
Oh, she didn't even get a chance to get that.
Fuck.
She wouldn't have had a chance to work on that yet.
I slap her around a little bit. No, I'm just
Nighttime Jin goes flying into the water.
Yeah.
I can walk on it.
Gatharn, as you walk.
Not if you're unconscious.
I know. Gatharn, as you walk along the deck, there's Jin in like a stunned pose with two little bruises to like the throat.
Gatharn, help.
Help. For some reason, I can't move.
Are you to me? You understand Marquesian?
Ayúdame.
Have we been around Jin enough to know that around day and night is basically when his personality shift?
Most of you have come to understand that, yeah.
Okay. So when it's nighttime, I come up to Jin, show him the notes and the book.
How do you have my book?
You gave it to me.
My book.
And these are the notes that I got.
Why are you so fucking nosy? Snatched.
You want to read those notes? Because I
In
think
my
I might
own
have
time.
triangulated where the fucking came
In
from.
my own time. You're not a part of this, Captain.
I feel like
You're not a part of this.
Vince like wanting to have his like what he really wants to say. like having an excuse by having multiple characters in game to bounce between this. That's just an observation. That's a Cesare observation. Omni's up on the
Damn it,
deck,
Ches.
whatever.
I'm here to be deeply into fantasy, not to be broken out of it and fourth walled constantly. I want to be
sit on the couch and let's just talk about your mother.
Before you sit on the couch, do all this cocaine first, and then we will talk.
Then we will.
I just feel like that's a bad recipe. Like that's just your heart's just gonna be pounding while you're laying down on the couch.
And I'll say, with all that information you gathered up, Gatharn, you've actually plotted a couple map courses that might be helpful. And they're all based.
You know what? You did a pretty good job.
While he's looking at that, I hit him in the nuts.
No reaction.
No, none.
No, but
nuts.
It's still gonna be freaking a full-on punch to the dick.
Okay, I'll take the damage, but there's just no reaction.
Yeah.
Not a grunt, not a sigh, not a nothing. That's got to do some cycle. Can I do an intimidation check just to see if like
you want to try to intimidate the narcissist that is Gatharn? Go right ahead, give it a go.
9 is
18.
How much damage I did.
Oh my fucking Christ, dude! Holy shit!
Yeah, he does a
9
lot of
points
unarmed
off
damage.
Oh, I go down. I go unconscious.
You're so full of shit. We already had a long rest.
Oh, we had a long rest? Oh,
of course we did. We're on day 1 of the travels. It's been a day since you guys fled Earl Bay.
5 points left the last time I checked. I only have 5. I go unconscious.
So there's
just got a handful of nuts and I'm draped over his little arm. Omni just happens to walk up the steps like, oh.
That's why it's quiet.
Okay.
But between you and Nighttime Jin, you kind of review some of the maps, and
I just want a montage. It's just us in a room and a whiteboard.
Yeah, pretty much. Going over the findings at this point. Nighttime Jin, you get the feeling that Daytime Jin probably shared the book with Gatharn.
Oh, I straight up told him that.
Yeah.
All right, luck spell.
So day 2, the weather turns for the better. Clears up. There are now about 4 or 5 large whale pods following the ship. Part of the crew is attempting to harvest one of the whales from the sea. There is always constant fishing going on, as it's a great way to maintain an added diet to the crew as well. Excuse me.
An added diet of microplastics.
No, not in Fantasyland. Maybe in reality, but not in
Macroplastics in Fantasyland.
So day 2 of the journey. Any magical things you guys want to do will begin to affect the amount of days it takes to get to Nicodranus.
Yeah, I figure we'd be using the druid Wendy.
Okay.
Yep. To do
Use her.
gusts of wind.
She is mostly concentrating her efforts daily, and as long as she continues to be able to do that, she'll probably shorten the entire trip by 2 days. So instead of getting there in 10 days, you'll get there in 8 days.
Well, Jin
I'm
can
gonna
control
review
water for 20 minutes on the hour, so.
I'm also gonna review the charts, see if there's any shortcuts we could probably take.
Give me a survival check as you examine the charts, and also take a look at the atmosphere and the area that you're in.
Damn, this dice just keeps rolling 17.
I
So
can create gusts.
23.
23. There is an alternate course you think would do better, considering the weather has fallen to the wayside and the weather's not nearly as bad. This is also kind of the more notorious windy season of this particular area of the sea. And taking advantage of that, you knock another day off. So instead of 10 days, you guys are now looking at 7 days to get to Nicodranus with all these efforts that are currently going on, as long as they're maintained.
And then I'll continue my training regiment with Keth.
Okay.
Daytime
As
Jin
well
will get
as-
in there. You just like shadow.
As well as daily training regiment for the rest of the crew as far as combat.
Yeah, I'll be in the.
Good to know. Day 3 rolls around. Things haven't changed all that unexpectedly. The weather is consistent. Review the maps, training, influencing things around you. One whale was successful. A small whale was successfully harvested, and the stores have been bolstered, not only with the blubber, fat, and meat of the whale, but the bone, as well as the skin. And the currently, Gromit and Stitch are working on a concoction designed to make the canvas more resilient. They've had some decent success with the contraption and design. They've recruited a couple of the others to help with them. The druid Wendy, the twin sister, has been mostly spending her time maintaining the efforts of getting this ship to move along quicker. Day 3 concludes. It's the start of the 4th day. I need all 3 of you to make perception checks, please, on the 4th day.
One thing also to note, whenever I'm training with Kath, it's just training. I don't ask any questions unless it's involved with, how she fights.
Right.
Yep.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yep.
You said perception?
Yep.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay. Jid?
And that one for a 3.
Nice. Omni?
24.
Jesus.
Omni, at some point, either during Gatharn's break or you're in between kind of just getting information from the crew or watching Stitch and Gromit continue to work on the new contraption to kind of match what the other captain was using. The 2 of you look beyond the edge of the railing, and you can see what looks to be a portion of a large ship that is currently smoldering. There's a column of smoke coming from it. Its main mast is down and in the water, and you're beginning to see the edge of a debris field kind of coming into view as well.
Did we ever pick up a spyglass?
I don't know. I think it would have been in your general equipment at some point. Nala or Brackish would have found you one.
I'll call up to Gatharn, who's manning the helm, to take us over to get closer. We'll scan for survivors.
So, Gatharn, you begin to tack the ship in the direction. Every now and then, you can hear the ship kind of bump into small pieces of debris. Nala and Brackish have the full crew on deck, calling out orders. Every now and then, a grappling hook goes out. One of the times, you watch as one of the crew is now pulling up what looks to be a dead body, pulls the humanoid figure onto the deck of the ship. They appear to be a victim of drowning, from what you can tell. The ship is now gradually making its way closer to the burned out vessel. You're maybe 200-300 feet away.
I asked Kath to go get my hammer.
She races downstairs.
Yeah, we'll pull up all of the bodies.
Okay.
That we find.
By the time you get within about 30 feet of the vessel, there's about 4 bodies that are recovered from the sea. The vessel itself looks heavily damaged. There are many fractured planks. The main mast is down. It looks to be a merchant vessel of some sort. It says on the side with a bit of burnt, kind of a burnt sooty like covering on the side of the vessel, the SS Scrossum. And it seems to be a vessel based on the flag that you can see laying in the ground. It looks like it's based out of Port Zune. And it looks like there might be bodies on the deck of the ship as well.
Can we hold here? Like, maintain our position so we don't... Is that how ships work? I don't fucking know.
It depends on the depth.
Yeah,
Brackish comes running over
drop
to
anchor.
Yeah, Brackish comes running over to Omni. Grappling hook, sir. Shall we yard up to it?
Yes. That's the term that Jin was looking for. Yarding up.
Brackish just kind
No,
of
that
looks
was
at you
Vince.
strangely.
That was Vince.
And there's like 4 or 5 crew members that throw over ropes with grappling hooks, and they sink up to the railing, and there's a thud and a sound of the ship being heaved in the direction. And
What time
Good
of
call,
day is it?
Vince.
it's afternoon at this point. A huge double
Late
plank
afternoon?
gangway is set down between the 2 railings, and a couple of the crew members make their way over onto the other deck.
As Omni
Onto
sees,
the other
We
deck.
are the pirates of
as Omni
Penzance, and we
sees
will be
I know,
boarding
I
this
crew
knew
members
you.
ship.
jump onto the
Do
other
that
deck,
to me too.
Jin's gonna lean down to the dead body that was pulled aboard, and it's
Okay.
like he doesn't look like, you know, Jin doesn't breathe, but he's gonna exhale, and you see like the chest starts to rise on the other guy, and he's gonna cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. There, as you cast it, there's you watch as water burbles out of the mouth of the dead individual. Their
Gross.
white eyes kind of become a little bit more kind of like translucent.
Oh damn, you're doing that right here. Okay.
The crew kind of backs away, kind of cross themselves with the many different signs of Saloon and Bahamut and the other gods and the Stormlord.
He wasn't dead. He was just taking a nap.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Let all that water out.
There's
How
how
are you
long does
today?
this last? How long does this last?
It's based on the
Don't
question.
ask me a
You get
question.
5 questions.
Is it 3 or 5?
It's 5.
It's 5.
Well, now it's
You,
4.
I think is 3, right? Well, he
You
didn't.
can just
answer.
hear. You can just hear one of the crew. What black magic is this?
Oh,
Is it
this
a
is
zombie? Throw it over.
this is Jin. Hold on. We have to. This is an interrogation. Relax.
It's not a interrogation, Captain. That's so serious. It's a conversation.
It's a
We pulled him out of the
conversation.
water. He was happily swimming, and you just yanked him out.
Okay.
While that's happening, I'm using the spyglass to keep an eye on the horizon.
Okay. Give me a perception check as a base, just so I have a number.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
Okay. Nice.
What are we asking this guy?
I don't know. What do you want to ask him?
Diva, I hear
He's
my
making weird doggy noises.
He was like, yeah, what are we
The
asking? What
dead
are we
sailor
asking?
starts barking.
I get the
Why
female.
is he barking? I slap him a little bit. Cut it out. You're creeping out the crew.
So what are we asking this guy?
What happened to your ship, buddy?
We were attacked.
Well, yeah, that was yikes. Do you want me to ask by who, Captain?
We wanted to. So we wanted to talk about it before we're asking
Right.
questions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See, I love this spell because a lot of people don't realize how literal the spell is. It's very literal.
Can you describe who attacked you?
Pirates.
By rats, he says. He was attacked by rats.
That's not what he said, you daft bastard. He said pirates.
I don't know what daft means, but I'm going to take it as a sign of disrespect that you said it. See what happens when I don't have a position on the ship? People just talk to me like whatever. It's very
Well,
hurtful sometimes.
As far as we're concerned, you're just crew.
See, you do have a
I
position.
don't
mean,
even
you
know who
are
the
crew
fuck's
that can
talking right
speak
now.
with the dead, but I'm just saying.
I don't even want to talk to him anymore. You talk to him.
Has to be you, unfortunately.
I know.
Well, no, because now Jin's having a pouty face. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh, you talk to him.
you got to convince him to talk to him. Gathar's not good at convincing people unless it's with his hammer. His hammer's his dick.
That'll work.
It's Jin.
Godarn is currently actually looking at the horizon, so he's not talking to Jin. He's actually not even there at the moment.
Do we really even need to know?
Oh, by the way, what'd you get, Gatharn?
20.
20. Okay.
Have we found any? Have we gone through enough of it to find any people that survived?
So far, no. There's at least the twins are over on the ship, kind of searching it and kind of sussing out what's over there. The others are either doing what Gatharn is and keeping an eye out. I would say Brackish and Nala are the only two joining you right now as Jin has cast a spell on this dead form. There's 4 other dead bodies, all human, from what you can tell, in various cases of... This one feels like it drowned. The other 4 look like they suffered traumas, injuries.
Okay, I'm gonna just let you go back to nappy time, okay?
Jin, can you ask it what flag it was flying?
We know what flag it was. Oh, the pirate ship or the
Pirate
merchant
ship.
vessel?
What flag was the pirate ship flying?
The head kind of lolls to the side to look back at you.
Okay, there we go. Let's make eye contact here. Let's try to make eye contact. We're having a conversation.
Like
It's just polite. Mama said it's always polite to look at the person you're talking to.
A pitchfork with 2 eyes and a skull.
Pitchfork with 2 eyes and a... That sound familiar to anybody? Nala?
Nala and Brackish kind of shrug their shoulders.
That sounds kind of scary though, right? Like if we saw it, we would run. Huh? No? Okay, yeah, I'm the scaredy cat. Okay.
Does the compass have any come into play at all with this, as far as knowing ships?
I mean, you haven't spent much time with the compass lately. If you choose to, you can, but...
That was our 3rd question, right?
That was your
Yeah.
3rd.
Yeah, we
Got 2 more.
What's your favorite color?
Blue!
That's a good color. I also like that one. Not my favorite, but it's up there. It's definitely top 3.
The crew is genuinely concerned at this point, Omni, as Jin is having a casual conversation with a dead guy.
Where were they going?
Where was your ship going?
We were going to Port Tamale.
The head lolls over. The last echo of its voice fades as it goes back into its
I'm
death-like
trying to
slumber.
find Port Damali on the map. Oh, okay. It's not that far from Port Zune.
No, not really.
So are they going more towards the Mother Sai Reef or the Isles right there?
You're probably a good 4 or 5 days from the Mother Sai Reef.
Mhm.
And they had come out of Port Zune to head towards Port Damali.
Oh, so
There's
they're
a chance.
going
There's a
across
chance.
the windward, huh?
Yeah, but there's a good chance this vessel's been floating for a while as well. I mean, sure, the fire on board is smoldering and mostly out. The hull itself doesn't look overtly damaged. It's not taking on water, but the deck, the mast, it's almost as if the ship was attacked with the intent of boarding it without causing it to be sunk.
Jin's gonna grab that body. He's like, okay, you can go back to your swimming.
The crew's like, ugh.
What about this guy?
We'll keep all the bodies up. We'll put them all on one
Any of them
piece
look
of
more
the ship
fancy
and
than the
we'll
other? Like maybe we
light
picked
it
up a
on
captain?
Give me
Well,
an
we're
insight
gonna-
check again
We'll
as
go
you kind of
through
examine
all
them.
of the body stuff, like roll the bodies, obviously. But
No, 13.
13?
Mhm.
They all look like sailors, like crew.
Once there was a Kraken, but she lost to temp.
is
sick
there?
balls.
Can we do
I pick a
a?
random one, and because it's at will, I'll cast Speak with Dead again.
Okay.
Any requests?
What was their cargo?
Oh,
As this conversation's going on, you hear just before you cast it, Jin, you hear one of the twins yell back, "I think we found the captain's body, sir."
oh, never mind. Sorry.
Gathar, nothing on the horizon so far.
Should we go talk to the captain? Captain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jin and Omni make your way over the plank that's
Jin's
connecting the
skipping.
two ships. You kind of have to walk slightly upward as this ship has 4 decks as opposed to 3 that the Storm's Eye has. So it is slightly, below.
I'll tell Stitch and Grommet to see if there's anything that can be salvaged for fabrication.
Aye, Captain. And you watch as Stitch and Grommet quickly leap over. The twins are over there standing guard, and the one twin, Wendy, kind of points at the doorway access that's blown open. 2 or 3 dead guards are on the ground, shredded through either fire or other kind of severe lacerations to their bodies, and they kind of point towards the interior of the cabin. Mind you, sir, we think it's the captain. There's not much left.
Ooh.
Head, right? That's all we need.
I mean, yeah, but you want to talk to a guy that's kind of,
Do you want to go and set him up or something?
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you just give me a few minutes of prep, I'll make him look presentable.
Sure, go do your thing, man.
Okay, I'll walk into the room.
As you walk into the space,
how Jin realized his true calling was to be a funeral host.
Yeah, Jin, give me a charisma save as you walk into the room.
Oh shit! We'll dress him up. He'll look fantastic.
24.
24. You're immediately overwhelmed with a sense of darkness and sorrow and fear. There's a kind of residual feeling here. And as you look at the captain's table, where you would imagine the captain would sit behind the table and either be barking out orders or dealing with whether crew matters come up, there is simply a head on the table, and you begin to recognize that somebody has already cast Speak with Dead.
Damn it, Rick.
Does that limit me? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we won't be able to summon
Means
him
we
back.
got nothing.
I'll just prop him up anyway. I'll grab one of the guards. Oh, sorry about this. And then put the head to approximate where the... Okay.
So you're doing this to one of the guards?
Yeah, and then putting the captain's head on his body.
That's not really how it works.
I know. I'm just snapping the neck back. The head's still gonna be on there, but I'm just
hear somebody retch behind you. It's one of the twins. Just pukes under the deck after you do that. And she wipes. I'm not. And she just shakes her head and walks back over to the other deck of the ship.
And then as the body's prepped, I walk out to Omni. Captain, as an empath, I sense darkness.
That's an empath.
I sense darkness and treachery and just feelings of woe in there. And we're not going to be able to speak with the captain. But I prepped the body. He looks pretty, for a guy that's missing 95% of the rest of it, he looks pretty okay.
So you can't speak with him?
No. Somebody else has already spoken to him. I can speak to one of the guards.
Yeah, let's do that. See how that goes.
Okay, you want to go see the head body though?
Yeah, let's see.
You want to see why she was yakking?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Go on in the room.
As you go into the room, you get there's definitely a dark sense here. There's this gloomy sense that something was here and left a residual kind of energy in regards to the space. The head is neatly severed and placed in the middle of the captain's quarters. Everything else around you is just tatters, debris, stacks of, furniture that's been shredded, streaks of blood strewn all over the place. There's an arm, a leg, part of a torso. And then there in the center of the captain's desk, a neatly placed hat alongside of it. And then the captain's head just kind of propped up as if somebody might have been talking to it.
So, well done. It looks.
Thank you.
He looks good. He looks dignified. Like he's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tried to put the hat on, but
Uh-huh.
it kind of covered the rest of his face. So,
Okay. So if we can't speak with him, where's the one that was there that we can speak with?
Oh, I grabbed the captain's head by the hair and then I snapped the other head up.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I was making do with what I had around here.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Okay, you want to save this for like later?
No, I'm good.
Like you don't want to talk to this later? Like he might have some other information we might need.
You can talk to it later.
Omni, you know that it definitely doesn't work that way.
I'm like, I don't do any like necromantic spells or shit.
Well, no need for the curse words, sir. I'm just asking a simple question.
No need for the curse words.
No, we're not gonna save the head.
Okay, but to be fair, if I can just present my argument here,
Mhm.
is that Gatharn gets to have a head, and I would like a trophy head.
Are you talking about the fact that he pickled Thorvald's head?
Yeah.
Now you want a pickled head?
I would like a head.
Hey, Omni, these are your cats you're hurting.
First
not
off,
me, man.
if you learn how to shrink a head,
Uh-huh.
then we'll talk about you keeping a head.
Shrinking heads is very easy. You just need vinegar.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you have a shrunken head
Uh-huh.
in a small jar, that's still really weird, but whatever.
Is there like the captain's water barrel around here somewhere?
No.
Like,
I mean,
is
the captain's piss bucket is on the side over against the
Oh,
wall.
perfect. Shape water and freeze the piss.
I mean, it is sterile mostly.
Smells like he ate a lot
I'll
of
give
asparagus.
Jesus a moment. I'm pretty sure Omni's there, just like dignified. But Ches needs a moment to. Ready, Ches? Start scene.
Continue.
I'll cast Speak with Dead on the guard.
And then he watches the head. You see the huge incision along the neck, just kind of lacerated, the flesh spilling out. The head lolls there for a minute, its eyes back up in its head.
Go ahead. What do you think these questions should be?
Oh, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Doesn't make top 5 for me. Although I do enjoy amethyst, and that's definitely up there for me. Not purple though.
Jen,
Mhm.
focus on what we're trying to figure out here, please.
Okay.
And ask slightly more appropriate questions because we only get a few more.
That is about as angry as I've ever seen Omni get.
Okay. Captain, you're going to be proud of me for this next one.
This is a very important thing I'm giving you to do, is to interview this dead guy, and we need these
I
questions
understand the
to be
importance
good.
of this, and
Okay.
you yelling at me is not making my anxiety go
yelling.
away. You're not helping right now
I
in this
wasn't yelling at
particular
all.
moment. In this
I wasn't
particular
yelling.
moment,
I just
But
asked
have
Catharn,
a
give me
very
another
to-
perception
limited
check
space to question him.
as you continue to keep it a look at on the horizon.
You're not helping.
I'm not
right now.
saying
if
that
you
this
could
is
just
a
feed me
test.
the questions that you
I'm
want
not
me to
saying-
ask, it would make
I want to
I
know
already
what
provided
your
the magic
idea
to
of
get you
questions
from point
are
A and like
before you
midway to
ask
point
them.
B. So if you
I
had
wanna
just
know
give
what
me
they
the
are
questions that you
before
would
you
like to
ask
ask, I
them.
feel like this would be a lot smoother.
I
But
want
now
to
you're
hear
putting the
your
responsibility
ideas.
upon my shoulders, which
That's
is
what
already
a role in
overburdened
a
as
job,
it
in a
is.
position, in
Because
a crew
you decided to give
needs
Medi
is
my
when
job,
you have this
my
role.
Would
That's
you
career,
two just
my
shut up?
responsibility.
And then Wendy just like, oh, she turns. This is gross. And she turns and walks back across the plank. Catharn, where'd you get?
What's wrong with
21.
Brenda?
Okay.
I don't know.
Just the two of you now are on the other ship.
Just the two of us.
Maybe
we
ask
can
where the
ask him
secret
questions if we
stash is.
try. What?
Maybe ask where the secret stash is.
Where is your secret hoard?
It's not what I said specifically. If you changed it.
not a dragon. I have
He's
no
not a dragon.
hoard.
That
See,
sounds like a dumber question
that's
than
why-
asking
that's
him
why
what
I
a
said-
favorite color is.
That's what I
Because
said.
at least I got
Stash.
a
That's why I said stash.
Okay,
instead
where's
of
your secret
hoard.
stash?
Okay, gosh.
In the hold.
Oh, in the hold. Good question. Fuck.
It's like an odd couple routine.
Let's find that stash for one. Let's get some people on that.
Brenda.
Wendy.
Wendy? I've been calling her Brenda the last 3
Dude, no
weeks.
wonder she hates you. You've been calling her Brenda this whole time?
Is her
The
name
whole
not Brenda?
time? It's
What about the one that
Wendy.
looks like her?
Her sister?
Sure.
Her twin
Her
sister?
twin sister? The
Glenda.
identical twin?
It's Tanya and Wendy.
Tanya. It's
I need to talk to their
Tanya,
parents because if
obviously.
you're gonna have twins, you would name them something that rhymes,
What?
right? Am I
Sure,
wrong here?
sure.
I don't feel like I'm wrong here.
Okay, that's fine. You don't feel like you're wrong here.
I don't
your
feel like
feelings
I'm
have
wrong
been
here.
noted.
I feel like if
Your
you have
feelings have
twins,
been noted.
you are
We
obligated
have
to give them
two more
naming.
questions.
They're rhyming in a rhyme scheme. Like it don't even got to be like something clever. Like I saw this poet. His
Like
name was,
Stacey and Tracy.
No, he was a poet, but he was also the commander of some army. They called him the Marshall
Napoleon.
Mathers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You should hear his rhyme schemes. They don't even rhyme at the end. Sometimes they rhyme in the middle.
You know, that's how it is sometimes.
And he made
So-
orange rhyme with door hinge.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause that
magic.
does.
He's magic. We need to go
Sounds
to
like an
Marquette
incredible
and
bard.
see the Marshall Mathers. Okay.
Yeah, an incredible bard. We'll do that next
Marshall
time
Mathers.
when we're on vacation.
The great admiral.
Mhm.
My God. 2 questions. Do you want
Two
to? Do
questions.
you want to spitball one before actually asking?
Oh,
him?
do you want like
let
try
me
it on you?
I want to. Yeah, I want to hear the idea.
What's your favorite color? Yeah.
Did you ask that question again?
No, I'm asking the Omni.
Oh.
With my arm
No,
draped
actually,
over the dead guy.
when Jen asks you that, Omni, you hear the dead guy go,
Purple.
Fucking God damn it!
At least we affirmed that it's definitely purple for this man. You know, it could be a litany of other colors, but it's definitely, he doesn't have a number 1, a number 2. It's definitely purple. And it seems like I cannot pose anything as a question or else he will take it as for him.
That
You
does
big
seem
dumb
how
lug.
it is.
That's why you're dead and I'm still breathing. I can't. There's nothing went in there.
There's
don't
no air
breathe.
there. No.
No.
Mm.
It's unfortunate. I don't know what it's like to breathe the warm ocean air on a bright spring day. Well, anywho, we can't dwell on the
That's-
past.
All right, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go try and find this secret stash and
we have one more
salvage as
question.
much. You didn't think of it Anything else? You just asked me a question.
Please describe. Can you please describe the people who attacked you?
They were Firbolgs and Goliaths.
Doesn't that sound like Firbolg?
They were creatures with them. They were terrified.
Head lolls to the side.
Captain,
Firbolgs,
Goof and
Goliaths, and
Gas
creatures that are
before,
terrifying.
but can you help me see if they left anything behind? The attackers?
Like in the space, just
In the
investigate.
space, or if you can ask the crew to search outside if they see any foreign object and if they can bring it to me.
Yeah.
Investigation roll with advantage?
Why
If Captain Omni-
advantage?
With Captain Omni helping me, or two separate rolls?
It's up
Also
to you
looking
guys.
around.
Yeah, it's totally up
no,
to you guys if
definitely
you want to
go
do it
ahead
that way.
with
Yeah.
advantage. I have
Okay.
nothing to investigation. Medi is the investigator for sure. She's got like a plus 11 or some bullshit.
17 for the captain's area. Check like the fingernails.
Hey, perfectly techno. Thanks for the raid. Really appreciate it.
You got a 17?
Yeah. That's the best I'm going to get. I only have a +3. I suck.
I mean, the one thing you both notice equally is a complete lack of evidence that anyone else has been here. No other injured parties, no other injured dead bodies, no like detritus of weapons or material.
It's like ghosts were here.
Firbolgs and Goliaths
And other creatures.
and other creatures that were terrifying.
Terrifying. But that could be anything, you know. Sometimes Gatharn looks happy, but then fire bursts from his tiny little body. And he's terrifying in that moment when there's like fire all around him.
Yep. Good point. Let's go find that stash.
Let's go find that stash.
You guys find the hold canopy in the very center of the ship. It's completely ripped open. You can see a series of stairs leading down. There's at least about 6 or 7 bodies strewn here in various degrees of injured and wounds, and some seem to be shredded, some seem to be shot, some seem to have fallen to hand-to-hand combat, and they're in different degrees of defensive form. Like they were definitely fighting really hard here, trying to keep people out.
Do investigation on them to see if you said some were shot. See if there is any any of the actual bullets.
Okay. He watches Medi kind
any
of
other clues.
Walks across the plank, begins to come over to where you guys are, and she just hovers over the forms near the hold. And I'll let you know when you get back up. Go see what they were looking for.
Oh, and one more thing, Medi. Can you just get like a, what do they call it, Captain, when they go in and they just sense like the aura around a place?
You want to
catching a vibe?
Yeah.
Did you want me to go check out the captain's quarters next?
Yes, because when I stepped in there, let me just tell you,
I can do that.
Jin shows his arm hairs. Heebie-jeebies.
Gatharn, give me another perception check, a third and final perception check, as you and the crew are keeping an eye out.
It's another 21.
Okay.
Because I think Medi, as a blood hunter, has grim psychometry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So she gets like that boosty boost.
Yeah. So the two of you continue to make your way down past the gunner's deck. There are 5 ports to the right, 5 ports to the left. However, most of the equipment here is designed to support like a typical kind of armory. Some pistols, some rifles, cutlasses, just basic defense weaponry that would be used.
We should gather some of these weapons for our crew.
Yeah, we definitely will stock up and then some. That way we have some stuff to sell when we make it to port, and we can use those
That's
funds.
why you're the captain.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of defense measure that was taken here as well. There's 2-3 bodies here and kind of similar disfigurement that the other bodies in the main stairwell hold. But this is more of a common deck. Going down to the crew's deck, you can see that another small defense measure was made here. But when you get down into the hold itself, the hold here is quite large compared to most that you've seen. This merchant vessel seemed to be in the business of hauling huge amounts of cargo, because this cargo hold seems designed for that. You could see the thin layer of ballast underneath the planking that you're currently standing on. The hold is completely empty except for a large stack of bodies that are in the very center of the hold in a defensive ring around something. But from where you're currently standing, it's hard to tell what it is.
I'll hold Omni back. It's like, I'll proceed, Captain.
I'll keep walking right next to you.
Okay, then I'll hide behind the captain.
As you guys get a little closer, there's at least a dozen bodies in various forms of disfigurement, damage, lacerations, and these once again look more
Jason?
Yeah.
When you say disfigurement, like after or just in the process of them fighting, they were just severely disfigured?
Both.
So you could tell like some of them were just post death, they were just already.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like some of their limbs, some of the physicality of their body-like forms look weird. Can't quite put your finger on. Give me a medicine check, Jin, as you stare at their physical condition.
14 plus medicine, 16.
You recognize the telltale signs of the spell Raise Dead, but not the good kind. These figures, after they died, were actually used to attack their fellow compatriots. And that's why their post-mortem disfigurement and broken bones and damage looks kind of strange.
You see, Omni sees Jin grab the pendant that he wears around his neck, and he starts whispering incessantly under his breath. Like the one word he keeps hearing over and over is Sesra.
Gatharn, way off in the distance, about a mile out, a single mast can be seen over the horizon. Omni, as you look past where Jin is standing, you can see that they were defending something here. It's not here any longer. As far as you can see, in the very center of this circle, this ring of defense that they built, there looks to be the remains of something that was here, heavily chained or roped. There are these huge metal hooks driven into the planking of this part of the hold. And you can see the fractured, broken chain like something was taken from this spot.
Is there any blood?
There's blood everywhere.
Any, like, next to the chains that looked like it was holding something? Or is there blood on those chains? See if Medi can
give me an
collect some of it.
Give me an investigation on that. See if you notice anything.
Okay.
I'm going to tell everyone to man battle stations and send a runner to go get the captain.
Okay.
16.
Nala and Brachus acknowledge that. They begin to bark out orders, and then Tanya quickly leaps over past Medi and starts to head down the hold stair. The blood that you can see seems to be splatters from the other bodies that were defending it. And with that roll, you also notice a very large square impression in the planking of the hold as well. Like something, either a large box or a large crate, was heavily chained to this spot. The chains themselves looked like they were broken by something, physically broken.
I'm gonna grab one of those chains and put it into my pack.
Okay, you grab a section of it and jam it into your backpack. It's a little on the heavy side. The chain is quite thick and large, but you grab a shattered portion of it.
I'd yell for Crooked Face to help haul a bunch of the weapons and the pistols, the guns, and stuff.
It's at that point as you hear Tanya come into the hold, sees this vision in front of her, near kind of like turns sheet white from it. Sorry to bother you, Captain, but Gatharn has ordered us to man stations. A mast has been seen, a sail has been seen on the horizon. We are getting ready to let go of the grapples. I was told to, and she just kind of retches into her mouth. I was told to warn and gather both you and Jen from Gatharn. Said, get back here as soon as quickly. And she just goes running back up the stairwell to leave.
Okay.
She's
Next time, say it faster. But good job. Be like, all right, let's grab what we can and get the heck out of here. Any of the bodies, the captain's body, the guards that were there with the captain, want to do a quick just pat down, see if they have anything on them of consequence, rings,
as we're going through these
pendants
levels.
Attire.
Does it seem like
magical?
Give me investigation, Omni. Go ahead, Jim.
Does it seem like personal effects were left alone and they were just aiming for the whatever was in the hold?
Give me perception, Jin.
Nat 20 for a 22.
Okay. Omni?
19.
All of them have their personal possessions. There's, if you take the time to gather up all of the coin that you find and other things like just minor bits of jewelry, rings, daggers, cutlasses, pistols, there was absolutely nothing taken from any of the crew that you've seen so far. Nothing stolen or pilfered.
Oh. Is there anything else in the hold, or was the ship?
It is completely empty, other than this kind of defensive position of these bodies that you can see here.
As the captain and I are extricating ourselves, do you think their only cargo was whatever was stolen, Captain?
It looks like it.
As the two of you come up on the main deck, Medi comes out of the captain's quarters.
What'd you find?
I don't really know what's been here, but whatever was here wasn't human. Whatever interacted with that skull and what did some of these disfigurements, I don't think it was. And she just kind of tilts her head and she seems perplexed.
Medi, the bodies that were really mangled, they were raised. Whoever was part of the boarding party must have been a necromancer of some sort.
That would explain the strange energy of the captain's quarters. Normally, when you try to speak with the dead, if they refuse to, you shouldn't be able to. I feel like something in there.
Oh, the captain's quarters. Jin runs into the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Grabs the piss bucket with the head in it.
Okay. He come right out. It's all frozen. Medi just like,
look, Medi.
I don't want to ask. And she just, and all of you can hear Gatharn shouting and pointing off into the western horizon as a 3-masted vessel is beginning to appear on the horizon.
So, not to be like, what did we find? But did any of them have anything of significance that we should know about on their personal effects?
I would say, for the most part, searching them and trying to get a feel for what they had, you found 3 because Broken Nose would not have any chance to relieve the armory, because if you're going to deal with this vessel that's coming, the longer you linger. So if you want to linger, you can, and him and the crew could try to retrieve some items from the armory.
How far off do they look, or how much
Less
time
than-
does it seem?
Less than a mile. Give me a survival
Oof.
check with advantage because
Oh, mama.
Gatharn is describing the vessel as it gets closer. And Gatharn, you notice that it has a flag with a pitchfork, 2 eyes, and a skull emblazoned on it.
15.
We need to leave.
15. You got maybe about 20 minutes until it's on you.
5 minutes to load as much as we can.
Captain, we need to go. Please.
Yeah, let's do it.
You watch as the grapples are released. All the crew come back on board. Omni, as you go through the inventory, you kind of...
I meant like 5 minutes. Grab as much as we can and then go.
Jin's already on the other ship. He's not helping me.
Broken Nose gathers up 4 crew members, and they spend that entire 5 minutes shuttling what they can over and over. In a small bag, Omni, you've managed to collect about 82 gold, 45 silver, 6 rings, 4 bracelets, 3 pistols, and 5 short swords that you kind of gathered ad hoc that looked in decent shape compared to the rest of the equipment that you saw.
You say 4 short swords?
Yeah.
3 pistols.
I'm yelling at Gromit to get that cell he's been working on ready. We may need to use it.
I've got the cabling and the sail connected. I haven't figured out the mechanism to design it to work. I was hoping to have a couple more days on that part.
You got 10 minutes.
You see Jin starting to panic when pacing up and down the storm's eye.
Yeah, once we get the last bit, you said 82 gold, 45 silver, 6 rings, 4 bracelets, 3 pistols, and 4 short swords. By
the time the first 5 minutes passes, right at the end of that 5 minutes,
we go.
Broken Nose has gathered up 3 large barrels of powder. Crooked Face.
Jeez.
I've got 20 tabs open.
Poor Crooked Face.
Crooked Face has gathered up 3 large barrels of black
Twisted
powder,
lip.
15 rifles, 12 pistols, and about 100 rounds of shot. It's about the best that him and the crew could do in that 5 minutes.
Cool.
The grappling hooks are released, and just as they do, about 3/4 of the mile way out, you can hear as 20 guns go off. And you can see arcs and streaks of black fall about 1,000 feet short of the vessel that you were just on.
Let's go. Casting wind gusts with what is it? No, Tanya isn't the druid. Wendy's the druid.
Yeah.
Wendy's casting wind gusts. I'm doing the same. Jen, can we get you to shape water?
The crew pretty on par. I mean, you guys have been with them long enough now that as you start barking out orders, and because you guys are more of a sloop vessel than a traditional heavy ship of the line, you're already picking up speed. And within about 10 or 15 minutes,
on the
wrecked vessel is already way behind you, and the other vessels even further away, back to the mile marker on the horizon. You're definitely faster than that ship. And within an hour, you're beyond the horizon of that vessel.
Amazing.
The ship is fast. You guys are more of a traditional sloop. I mean,
about to be faster, potentially. Or maybe a different ship. We don't know. Let's get to Nicodranus, baby. Later that day, I'll let everybody know all of the stuff we got, inventory it all.
Okay.
If possible, see if the rings, the bracelets, or the swords and rifles, if any of them happen to be magical. I don't know if that we have the capabilities of that, if Gromit is able to identify things. And then just wanting to I should have been saying this before. Each night, spend time 1 hour to 2 hours studying and reading all of the books and shit that we have that was Thorvold's, and just continue to just scour through making notes.
So as afternoon fades into the night of the 4th day, Omni, where are you in the evening? Are you in the captain's quarters at this point?
I'd be below decks in the. If it's after dinner, yeah, I'll be below decks in the library, as it were, with all of Thorvald's stuff.
You don't have
Just-
a library.
Right, but where all of Thorvald's stuff was.
Gotcha.
It'd be the captain's
books.
quarters.
Or you could be in the hold where the Hawk originally was doing research before, like opening up the crates and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Gatharn, where do you want to be for the evening of the 4th day?
Basically, any downtime I've had, I've been training with Kath.
Okay. Jin, now that you're in nighttime, Jin, Medi eventually tracks you down. Can I talk to you for a minute, Jin?
Sure.
There was something that bothered you over there, wasn't it?
Me? No.
Well, your other self. Not maybe you, but your other self.
What makes you say that?
You're very nervous, pacing a lot. Wanted to get out of here as fast as you could. There was something bothering you, Jen.
Maybe the shade of my other self is a coward.
It's true. Lemonade's not my favorite drink.
No, we all know it's you prefer something darker in color.
Listen, Jen. I feel like I can tell you this first, but when we get to Nicodranus, I'll be leaving.
What do you mean?
Well, ever since I had that encounter with that lich-like creature at the Revels, I've always felt like it was important to investigate that information out, and I don't feel like our paths are going to be on the same route for a while. Can you break it to the captain once we get to the port? You don't need to mention to them now, but I don't want to break their heart.
Your secret is safe with me.
So when we get there, if you don't see me, it's because I've decided to go off on my own way.
Good luck. You don't want any help?
I feel like this is one of those journeys you got to take by yourself.
Well, you know where we'll be. You know how to get in contact with us, so.
Oh, it's not that hard. Just look for a ship full of drunks and a bipolar, whatever you are. And let's face it, Omni's not cut out for war, is he?
No, he's something of a pacifist, but
Well, I think that's why you and Gathan are going to be safe. This crew's going to be safe, but if I don't deal with this part of my past, it's going to haunt me. And something tells me what we just came across, we're going to start seeing a lot more out here. I feel like something is unfolding, whether we want it to or not.
any insights on what we might be facing?
I don't know if it's a matter of what we might be facing. It's the matter of the lack of... You know, Jin, I've always kind of taken the small things for granted. The ability to go to a tavern and order a drink. The idea that you could walk through a busy street. The idea that you could count on your gold having value. It's amazing how those things are barely put together by the thin thread of agreements. What happens to a world that no longer has those agreements anymore? What do we do? I've always been uncomfortable with Thorvald's plan. I've never really liked it. But then again, I've always pursued my own ideas of what I think we needed to do.
Don't tell me you're afraid of a little chaos.
It's not a matter of a fear of chaos. It's I've never been fond of what made me. I don't actually like what I am. I survive within it because I don't have a choice. I could either survive or perish. It's definitely my choice, but I feel like we're getting a taste of what the future could be permanently if we're not careful.
A plague against the sea.
Well, maybe. But commerce is commerce, profit is profit. And I may not like being what I am, but I certainly like being. I like having gold in my pocket to be able to do what I want to do. If that economy becomes undone, I mean, what's the real value here? Sure, chaos will bring us what we want to a certain degree, but it's still a open-ended conversation when it comes to what to do next. You can't live in chaos forever, Jin.
But I can certainly try.
She just smiles at you and kind of walks away.
God, thank God she's out here. I'll pull out the chain out of my backpack.
Yeah.
And I'll cast scrying on it.
On the chain?
Yeah. I want to see if I can get well, maybe it's close enough to what it was holding that maybe, I don't know.
As you focus on the scry spell, it's a strange sensation. There is, you kind of feel that disembodiment occur. Your third eye begins to rush over the sea and off into a distant area that's unfamiliar to you as you come and settle over an island. And on this island, the eye drops. And as it drops, it centers in on a rather small encampment within a very secluded bay. You push through. It looks like there might be ships in the bay, but it's hard to see. But there are many campfires along the shoreline. And there's camps and lean-tos kind of like set up in the beach as well. And then as you stop standing there, a very large figure, Firbolg in shape, looks down at this very large crate. And it turns to look up for a moment, and as it does, you see the face of Tharivol looking up at you. And then it looks away and shakes its head. And then you watch as he goes like this, and 4 Goliaths come over and begin to pry at this crate. The crate's quite large. It's maybe 4 feet across, 3 feet in height. The Goliaths lean into it. The lid pops open. And he reaches down into it. And as he reaches down into it, you watch as he pulls something out. It's a small burlap sack that he pulls out, and he hands it to one of the Goliaths. And they gently take it. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And then you watch as he reaches in, and he pulls out the partial skeletal remains of a humanoid figure and kind of sets it down alongside the crate. And then you watch as he reaches in, and he pulls out a jaw-shaped copper kind of like piece of metal, and he sets it down on the ground. And it's kind of like at that point, the scry just finishes naturally, and you feel the energy pull you back into yourself, back onto the Storm's Eye.
Did any of those other Goliaths look like Trinity?
Give me a perception check.
Wasn't
Vincent's
Trinity a
infamous
Firbolg?
perception check. Oh, that's not bad. 19.
You did not see any other Firbolgs. You didn't see any Firbolgs that looked like Trinity. Mostly just Goliaths is what you saw.
I guess the captain and I need to have a conversation.
Eventually, you make your way down into the hold, and there is Captain Omni leaning up against some boxes, kind of reviewing some of Thorvald's books and journals.
I currently have the necklace of scrying in my hand, and it was also scrying on somebody at the same time.
You
Different
scrying
person.
on Jin.
Nope.
Tell you what I was doing.
Nope. Omni was focusing on the bookie that took his
Heady.
100 to 1 odds.
Oh, fucking
Bullshit. And he's trying to see if he can hone in on where this guy is, if he's still alive.
He was on that fucking ship.
Are you seriously trying to scry on that guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay. No connection is made. No sense of where he might be. As your scry kind of spends a few minutes trying to make that connection, and it fades. You get the feeling that the only reason why that connection didn't happen is either he resisted it or he might be dead.
All right. Oh, hey, Jen. He's gone too.
Both Cathar and Jen are gone. It's just me and Omni today. So yeah, I was chatting with Shannon, and she just can't make this schedule anymore. She needs to take a couple months off, and she's gonna let me know if she's gonna come back in a couple months. But she's just got too many fingers in pies and too many irons in the fire, I think. And I think all that's finally caught up to her. And with most of the COVID lockdowns being kind of put on hold for now, and people are kind of normalizing their weekends and stuff now, I get it. I'm not going to falter for that. I just wish she'd do a better job of communicating it. That's all I'd wish she'd do, you know? That's the part I don't always understand, you know? But I'm not going to judge people by that, because everyone has their own kind of like different ways they communicate with folks.
Yeah.
I just always felt that we'd all become a little bit more friendlier with each other, and friends tend to be a little bit more communicative. But, you know, I also know that there are a lot of people out there with like attention deficit disorders, and not all personable skills are to be treated equally or expected to be treated equally. That's why I don't really fault anybody for their kind of unique way that they kind of interpersonalize people's relationships and stuff. So.
Oh, look, he's back.
Well, Catharn's back.
Yay. Oh, hey, what's up? Welcome back to the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently
Hey, didn't drop me off a beer, you bastard.
We were taking a break and nobody told us, so...
And by the way, we do this for everybody out there because this is what it's like to play in a real game. This happens all the time. Either you got to get up and go poop, get a snack, grab a beer, and then forget to grab the DM a beer.
I'll go get you your beer.
I really want a snack now. I want lunch.
I know, right
really
now
badly.
I'm watching Vince eat. I'm like, oh, great. Now
we have less than an hour, guys. You couldn't fucking wait an hour.
I want my banana right now.
My banana. I was telling Omni that Shannon's going to take some time off. She'll probably be gone for a couple months, but she might let me know that it'll be permanent. So we will start looking for some more players for this time slot. Because I'd really like to get up to 5 players. I have a lot more.
Damn it, Shannon.
I feel.
Why didn't you just tell the homies?
I'm a bit more selfish to the time of 5 players. I think that's more fun for me, so I don't mind admitting that. But honestly, if it was just the 3 of you and me all just playing a game, I'd be happy with that too. So
yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Thank
Shannon
you,
was
Brendan.
kind of the glue to keep us all together. That was the only reason to stay together.
What?
Now we gotta break up.
Are you kidding me? We all know what the glue was. A indomitable dissent against that creature that we hated.
Hey, we could invite them to the game.
Cast 3.0.
So
Yeah.
Shannon's taking a break. Is that what I was
Well,
thinking?
her creative schedule has her all over the place, and she said before she wants to commit to either a 2-month break or a permanent break, like permanent, schedule change, she's going to let me know. But no matter what, she's going to be gone for at least the next 2 or 3 months.
She gonna let the homies know though?
I don't know. I don't know why she doesn't feel okay talking to us about it. That's the part I don't understand. I was talking to Omni about it, and I go, I know people have different emotions and different ways that they feel that they need to communicate to people, so I don't like to judge people that way. In fact, I don't like to judge people at all. I just
love to judge
wish
people. That's my favorite thing. People watch
I just
and judge.
wish that she would practice a little bit more empathy and reach out to us and just say, hey guys, we're not going to, of course we're going to be disappointed that she can't play anymore, but I don't think it should determine a permanent outcome of some sort just because she can't play. And I know there's always that fear of conflict and fear of emotion and bringing things up, but
there's going to be conflict now. I'm hella conflicted.
That's why you have 2 personalities.
The conflagration of these conflicts is
conflagration of these conflicts.
And
she does play a lot of games already. She does do a lot of editing for some of her other podcasts, and I think she feels like she wants to spend a lot more time focusing on Diablo, or I can never pronounce
Ombligo
it.
del Diablo.
Yeah, Ombligo. And I think she wants to spend a lot more time with that. And I can't fault her for it. Plus,
I can.
I'm the only one.
It's just
that has,
conjecture, anyways.
I'm the only one that has
objection.
Unending time to play these games.
Conjecture.
These nuts.
But Jen, on that point, we still want to put together the summer campaign that you were talking about.
Oh, are we gonna do that?
Yep,
Let
we're
me
gonna
kick
do that.
Shannon out of that. Pull up D&D Beyond. Remove her ass.
Well, I think Callista would want to do that too.
So-
Callista may actually play in this game because she
Hell
could
yeah.
come play here, and then right after this game, she could drive over to her 5:00 game that's only like 20 minutes from here.
GURPS.
So yeah, her GURPS game. So she may actually end up playing in this one for a little while. She doesn't have to do it the whole time. But...
So back into the story.
So Jin and Omni are down in the hold. Jin has arrived in time to see Omni studying and dealing with the books and equipment. Gatharin, you are up, kind of working out with Keth or being involved with Keth. And
is this him flirting? Is this him trying to go steady with somebody?
No.
Don't lie to me, you freaking bearded man slut.
You bearded man slut.
Okay, the player is a bearded man slut. Gatharn has a strict moral code that you motherfuckers don't, including the paladin for some reason.
The paladin, the pally part was an accident. He was more sorcerer.
Omni, you watch as Jin kind of comes into the hold.
Hey.
What's up?
Not much, just looking at some of this dope shit that we got from Thorvald's.
Right. The ship that was trying to smoke us.
Mm-hmm. Pitchfork.
Thorvald ship. Thorvald's alive.
Oh, which one? There's another one.
Sinister, evil, necromancer one, I suppose.
Cool.
Yeah, why do I have somebody's head in a piss bucket that's frozen?
I love your character.
I would say that your alter ego was playing a prank on you, but I think that they were just jealous that Gatharn has Thorvald's pickled head and wanted one as well.
And you just said okay, and
you know what? Most of the time, it's easier just to not deal with it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Like I try and give him a job, and he gets all pissy and doesn't want to do it, but then he bitches.
Oh, because he was the first mate before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then that was,
sense.
not the actual decision that the captain made, and so
still
he's
a heavy demotion, though. Don't you agree?
I mean, he's taking it personally.
If we just take a moment and give him a little
ego.
empathy, if you were to look it through his
tried
lens,
to,
which
empathy
is honestly, I'll give you the caveat
work.
that he's a little childish, but he was the first mate, and now he was
nothing. Was never the first mate.
He was the first mate.
He wasn't the first mate.
He was the first mate.
No, he
kinda
was never the first mate.
He
That
was,
was- that
and
was
he
a false-
enacted.
That was a
your
false
orders.
projection from somebody else. That was not
Well,
actual.
Every projection of you that's not
reality.
in
It
your
was an
changeling form is a
illusion.
false projection. So
It was
whose
an
face are you
illusion.
really wearing right
Moving
now?
on. Why are you here?
To tell you the Thorfall thing.
Oh, okay.
And whatever they were pulling out of the crate was in burlap sacks. Oh, and they have Copper Joe's corpse and his mandible. Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's a big fucking
something.
problem.
That
Yeah.
was something. That was you
Yeah.
should have probably maybe
I probably should have
with
led.
that.
You were, yeah. You
That's-
know what? Yeah, you're right. I
That's an
should have led
important
with
thing.
that. That was
That's
more
an important
important.
thing.
Oh, and I promised Maddie that I wouldn't say anything,
yeah.
but she's fucking off once we get to Nicodranus.
You just why would you tell me that?
Oh, because I want to throw your life into chaos, and you kind of pissed me off by demoting me from first mate.
Okay, so here's the truth of the matter. Now it's not your
Oh,
alter
yeah, it's
ego that's
100%
upset
me
and
too.
bruised. So yeah, so
If
that's why he
50%
can't
him,
get over
50%
it.
me. Combine the halves, we're 100% pissed off at
Gotcha.
you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, suck it up, quit being a little bitch, and let's figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. Let's get on.
Finally, a backbone. That's all I wanted. Step on me, daddy.
Cool. So
So now there's a first mate's position
they're really far
opening.
behind us.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
don't-
think you're just gonna get first mate after that tantrum you just threw? My God.
I mean, you need somebody that's gonna look out
I'll
for the
demote
crew,
Like, was it a
Yeah.
real
willing to stand up
tantrum?
against
Was
you.
it like a
Jeez.
legitimate tantrum?
Oh, and another thing, they didn't open up the crate on the ship. They're docked somewhere.
They're docked somewhere.
Yeah.
And they didn't open the crate, or they
No, they did open the crate. They
That's-
didn't
that's
open
where
it
you-
on the ship. They opened it on an island somewhere.
Oh.
So they
okay.
have a base of operations.
Nice.
I saw a Goliath with a red bandana and really funky facial hair. You know, it's kind of weird because Goliaths don't usually have.
They don't normally get yeah.
Yeah. But
We should let's
wispy
ask
mustache and a little.
Nala and if they know of anybody who has maybe sailed with Thorvald in the past, and if they might know who these Goliaths are.
It's a little racist to think the Goliaths would know other Goliaths. No, you know, all Goliaths don't know each other, right?
I was referring to them because they're the only ones that we know that have any knowledge of past information. Or I could go to Maximus, but he's not here, is he?
Maximilian?
Yes,
You
he's
forgot-
not here. We
you
can't
forgot the
ask
name of
him
your
stuff
mortal
about
enemy?
Thorvald's past. They know some other things. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're Goliath. Why did you make that assumption and that correlation?
You seem really angry for somebody that's supposedly innocent. Let's go.
Omni, make a check for passive aggressive frustration.
Out of curiosity,
Natural one.
That sounds about right.
So I missed out on Medi and Jen's conversation, which is fine because Gatharn doesn't give a rat's ass because he wasn't
Right.
there.
Right.
But as a player, is she still attuned to the flag, or did that stop when she died?
Ooh.
Good question.
Well, now, yeah, Jin
Good
told
question.
Omni, so Omni knows now.
The flag is still up there flying. It's just covered in a secondary.
Condom.
It's kind of been
Um,
covered up in an alternate
condom.
flag as well.
I'm
Ribbed for Omni's pleasure.
Gatharn, do you want to go and handle the flag?
why?
Well,
It's up
somebody
there.
has to. Somebody has to, like, I mean, if she's going to take off. Oh, yeah, Medi's leaving.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Something about your farts and burps while we're there in the hole together. It's just this vile. She can't take it anymore. I don't breathe, so I don't mind. You know, you're my little
I
goblin.
don't breathe, so I don't mind.
It's all that protein. Protein farts.
I'll take your word for it. You know, I have no idea what kind of smells and sulfuric mix is going down there. That's honestly why she moved up to the crow's nest, is because of the caustic
that's fair.
materials
That's
that were
fair.
exiting the rectum.
Gatharn's like, that tracks.
That's fair. Yeah.
And you got a little schmutz in your beard right there.
I think that's it.
So,
Yeah, go fondle the flag real quick.
Where the fuck do I gotta fondle the flag? You fondle the flag.
do
Fine.
either of you have the capability to?
I just start climbing
to-
up with my gloves of spider climbing.
Okay.
It's good they're being used.
You guys watch as Jin hauls himself over the crow's nest.
Hey, Medi.
Hey, Medi. I told everybody about your secret.
Oh, that's good. I asked you not to. I'm glad you did.
That's for biting me.
You climb up another 8 feet to where the flag is hanging on the pole above the main mast. Medi's just looking up at you. Oh, I finally figured it out. No, I didn't attune to it yet.
Yeah, because you died.
Oh, there was that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're dead.
I'm mostly dead. Yeah. That's fine.
Gatharin, I climbed all the way up here and I remembered.
You're
I'm
afraid of heights?
No, whatever. If I fall, I splat. Whatever. I'm out of attunement slots.
Just like looking down the main mast at you, Gatharin, is like, I've got too many commitments.
Yeah.
And I don't have to attune to my weapon, do I?
So far, no.
Yeah, then I actually have an open slot. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Meet me downstairs later. We'll see if you
Wonder
Might-
work.
and
Meet me
if
in
there's
the
ever
cuddle puddle.
any
Meet me
desire
in the
or
cuddle
curiosity
puddle.
as to why Shannon no longer wants to be a part of the game.
Don't
fine.
say that. Don't hurt my feelings.
Too close to home.
Too close to home there,
That's
bitch.
why my girlfriend always leaves on Sundays.
Well, that I don't blame her. If I had to sit behind you and listen to your bullshit, I'd be out of there too.
You be laughing.
Oh, wait. I sit in front of you and listen to your bullshit.
Yeah, but when you sit in front of him and listen to it, it has context. When you're
That's
sitting
true.
behind him and listening to it, you only hear the one side, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
What did he
Like-
say?
That must sound like Candyland to her.
It's one side of a 5-sided conversation. It's
Right?
not much to build off of.
No, it's not.
All right. Okay. So freaking grumbling, mumbling, and all this other bullshit. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
I go up and I freaking touch the flag.
What's Gatharin do?
He's currently alongside you up on the main mast, and he seems to be trying to attune to the flag.
Yeah, just touch it.
I am. I'm grabbing it.
No, just grab it. Firmly grasp it. Take it into your little hands and grasp it, Gatharin. Some conviction.
I mean, Gathar, if you want to kick him off the mast, you can try.
I could just imagine Gatharin running around with Copper Joe's flag as a kilt.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got. You know,
I'm so here
Gatharin's
for this.
kilts are like
Ade,
Jedi robes,
Ade,
right?
Gatharin
And he
doesn't
just
need that
tosses them
level of
everywhere and he
assistance.
loses them.
Doesn't need that level of assistance, my friend.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you have to wear that flag as a kilt. You can't ever take it off then, because you normally
I
strip
fight
naked.
naked.
I know, but if you're gonna have it, you have to hold on to it. You can't just throw it off every time you're gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. This is for the crew.
So, Gathar, as you take a few moments, it's
Something to
interesting.
consider.
Is it working, Gatharin?
Do
Gatharin,
you
where
feel
is it?
anything different?
Is
Is there a tingling?
As you do that, both you and Jin watch as
Art thou feeling it
This-
now?
intact visage of a ghostly Copper Joe appears in between the two of you. Well, I gotta say, the two of you are not as pleasing to the eye, but...
I'll fly up behind him.
And he looks over his shoulder. Well, seems my little secret's out. Yeah.
What secret? Oh, that you've been in the flag this whole time?
Well, it's not a matter that I'm in the flag. It's the flag's a part of what I used to be.
What the
It's like a
fuck does
Horcrux.
that even mean?
I'm gonna check the material of the flag.
Give me investigation. as you do that.
You know they have your
is
body,
it made
right?
out of his skin?
Oh my god, no.
You said investigation. That's 17.
17. I mean,
Jason's smirking.
it's that, but that's exactly what I expect Brendan to think. So I'm not, I'm not overly surprised. It's just very finely made, and considering it was taken out of a very old tomb and didn't show any signs of wear, it's definitely made of a silken material.
What color is
But
it?
it's like a blackened silk material with the Copper Joe emblem like emblazoned in the middle of it, but finely woven along the edges is a very thin platinum and gold thread kind of binding all the different panels together. And the ghostly visage of Copper Joe just kind of stands there looking at all of you. Well, I'm just here to say that the possessor of this flag gains a little insights into what I used to be, well, let's be fair, what I used to be really good at. Do you have my compass, by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, if they would bring it on over here, I could maybe get a little closer. Yeah, that's it. A little closer.
He's gonna kiss you.
10 feet away.
Yeah, as you get within 10 feet, there's an arcane streak of energy, kind of lashes through the flag, slams into the compass. And as the two relics kind of combine their kind of like arcane-like energy, a cyclonic storm begins to form directly over your heads.
Well, that's
You can see the clouds are about 100 feet in diameter, slowly forming. No rain, in fact, you don't even remember seeing any clouds in the horizon, but suddenly just this cyclonic effect just swirling above you.
I'm going to mentally think for the clouds to go away and see if anything happens.
I need a 2-minute break. Calista said a package got dropped off.
Okay.
You taking a break? Time out?
You and Gathar, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Gathar's just like focused, looking up. Jin, you're there as well. Medi's down in the crow's nest, kind of looking up as well. You think you kind of think that way, and nothing happens. However, you watch as this orb of energy drops out of the clouds and settles amongst the three of you, and it kind of blossoms out slightly. And you can see these little points of light moving across it. You can see what looks to be the beginning formation of land masses. It's almost like you're looking at a map at this point.
It's a globe.
It's a message from the Stormlord, maybe.
What? That's a bit of a reach,
The
isn't
storm? It literally came down out of a storm where there's no it was clear skies.
Oh yeah,
just a second ago.
Yeah, it's the storm.
You're trying to like I don't have any
Gatharn,
grounds
give
to
me
think
a
it might
survival
be
check
from the
because you have a little
Stormlord.
background with the charts and some of that.
It's a little
been
bit
going
of a
on.
reach.
It's not a
If-
stretch. That's an easy, solid conclusion to come to.
Is it though?
23?
You know what?
23?
You undermining everything
Yeah,
I say
23.
is a
As
bad
Jin
look for
and
the crew.
Omni are like
Think about
arguing
that.
alongside you,
Yeah, but we're up
Think
here.
about that.
Maybe he's
No, just
listening
stop
to our
talking
and you
and
see
think about
this globe floating in front of you with these little points of light moving about. This globe is in the shape of a 3-dimensional viewscape of the Menagerie Coast. The little
a map.
pinpoints of light look like maybe vessels or location of vessels.
Okay, I'm gonna try and determine where we're at.
As you
Based
focus
off of
in on
what
that,
I know from where we were currently.
yeah, and you kind of holding the flag and looking at the spirit of Copper Joe, he just kind of smiles. Yeah, you know what's up. And you watch as the visage fades, and then there's a small green pinpoint of light that you believe to be the storm's eye.
All right, and then what other pinpoints of light are near us?
There's a single pinpoint of light maybe about, from a nautical perspective, a half a day behind where you are.
All right,
But it does
still-
seem to be pursuing you.
Wait.
All right, so while they're arguing, I'm gonna snap real loud right by their fucking face. Well,
Whoa.
I'm gonna reach up and
We'll look down and
I take a knee.
what's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
that's us.
Take a
That's
knee.
whoever was fucking firing on us.
Yeah, that's Thorvald.
Oh, that's
Well,
another
that would've-
Thorvald, by the way, with Goliaths.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we not fill you in?
Oh, and a bunch of like also terrifying monsters
Captain,
or creatures.
We did promise that we would tell him more,
Yeah,
and yeah, we just
we'll fill him in real quick.
yeah.
Well, good.
As-
Well, yeah, they're still following us.
We're faster, fortunately, so we will get into port.
Can we sort these by
and have
what
a
flag
day and a
they're-
half,
they're
maybe 2
flying,
days
or they're just
before they
pinpoints of
come?
light?
Just common pinpoints of light. The one that Gatharn points to is like a white yellowish light that matches a lot of other pinpoints of light. You get the feeling because he's focusing on the nature of this vessel.
Yay,
Oh,
thanks,
the Time Lord's
Dave.
wife. Hey, Time Lord's wife. How are you? Good to see you. But, oh my God, someone named Hawk99 is now following us.
You don't even know the significance to your name.
Hey Raiders, thanks for coming in and giving us a little bit of giving us some rating love. We really appreciate it. It's been a day.
We were broken up with and ghosted.
Darling Creepshow, thank you for the follow. Ranger Harley, thank you for the follow. Mercy66 and El Huck, thank you. El Hawk, thank you for the follow. At some point in my life, I will learn how to speak again. I really do appreciate it.
Today not be that fucking day.
And for those of us joining for the first time, we are currently exploring Wildmont. The Debtors Gambit is based on the founding and discovery of the island of Darktow as a pirate sanctuary and the formation of the Revels. So we are 40 years pre-season 1. Thank you, Rishi. I appreciate that because I suck at these long handles, but I try. Currently, the team is making their way
That's what
towards
she said.
Nicodranus, and they are currently making some insights into Copper Joe's flag and the compass that they had recovered from his tomb. So, looking at the pinpoints of light within the globe, the sphere that's kind of hovering nearby, all of the small pinpoints of light, you get the feeling are nautical representations of where other ships might be.
Ooh, Gatharn, think about the hawk. Think if you can. Does it show up?
The orb, the minute you say that, Omni, Gatharn, if you think about the hawk, there's a shift in the three-dimensional representation of the globe. And there are 3
As
pinpoints
the
of
map
light.
starts to shift, I start to massage Gatharn's head. Yes, think.
All right, fuck, let's knock it off. I don't give a rat's ass about the hawk.
We-
but
we
you threw his
finally
fucking name
know-
in my head. Now I'm thinking of it. I'm
We
trying to figure out
finally
how to
know.
get away from fuckface over here.
Think about the
We-
I
Leviathan
was
real
actually
quick.
trying to
Leviathan.
The
When I was
flag
looking at it,
allows you
map,
to do it.
I'm about to cast silence.
We now know it's the flag. The flag lets you know where other ships are.
But I would say that at
Good.
the very least, with Omni's kind of like insistence and mention of the hawk, the globe shifts, the sphere kind of twists about, and there's a small island representation of Earl Bay, and maybe within 2 or 3 days' journey to Earl Bay, you can see 3 small points of light, but no
Oh.
other. But
He
then
picked up another ship.
But then beyond that, you can see about 8 points of light in pursuit of those 3 points of light.
Sucks to be Hawk.
Leviathan, who?
The other thing I start focusing in on then after I realize that, so
Oh, and cheers,
What's
Raiders. Thank you
between-
for coming in. We really appreciate it.
It's the Goliath.
Sunday's beer day. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's lying between us and Nicodranus at the moment?
Probably the Twinward Isles. You're already
Shipwise.
Oh, shipwise? Not much, actually. As you form that thought in your mind and you watch as the globe shifts and the sphere kind of rotates around, there's maybe only 2 or 3 vessels. And this is when you begin to examine where Palmaflora is, and Port Damali, and Theolin, and Port Zune, and Nicodranus. There are virtually no active ships along the entire coast of the Menagerie Coast. It is your own understanding of the ship lanes and merchants and the behavior of vessels traversing up and down the coast during this time of season. There should be hundreds of points of lights that should be visible.
All right, and you mentioned we were closer to the Twinward Isles at the moment?
You're probably within 2 to 3 days of the Twinward Isles, which then would put you within 2 to 3 days of Nicodranus. You're kind of at that 4th day, but the weather and other things have slowed you down a bit. You've actually had to go in a roundabout way to avoid the pursuit of the one vessel, and you took some time to explore the burning vessel that you found. So you lost about a day or two. So based on what you know and what you've experienced, and you're looking...
We were only at that burning vessel for a very short period of time because the ship showed up and we left.
But you get the feeling, Gatharin, you're getting a more accurate representation of the amount of time it actually takes to get to things. The navigational charts that you use are always in a presumptive way of doing things. But now you're feeling like this is more precise.
So we've gone from like a hand-drawn map to Google Maps.
Google Earth, sure.
Yeah.
Darn, look at the Leviathan. Come on.
Leviathan.
No, I'm actually focusing now on shallow reefs.
Leviathan.
Shallow reefs that we could get through, but a 3-master would not be able to get through.
Benny just looks up at you, Jen. Just shut the fuck up, Jen. Just let him do what he's doing.
Hey, I understand that you're upset that I spilled the beans, but you know what? You deserved it.
So what are you thinking about, Gatharin? You're muted.
The quickest route to Nicodranus.
There is a thin, jagged line of energy that kind of begins to form on the surface of the sphere. As it forms and points about, and then you could see that the projected courses of the few points of light you can see kind of commingle with the sphere's kind of rotation. And you could see that it's now projecting a course that will have you in Nicodranus in 4 days.
All right.
Avoiding all the points of light.
All right, Captain, this way we'll get there in 4 days.
Wow, amazing what somebody who brings so much value to the team is able to do.
You honestly should be first mate, to be honest.
Probably should. We'll see. We'll see when
Yeah,
that
so
position
just-
actually
Fuck that
opens.
requires responsibilities.
We'll see. We'll see.
Are there
what
gonna be
happens in
meetings?
that
Honestly, your
position.
lack of
Are
foresight.
there going to
and
be
not
meetings,
naming
Captain?
Gatharin-
Captain, are there going to be meetings?
Meetings?
Are there going to be meetings? If you're first mate, are there going to be meetings?
Yes, there's going to be meetings.
Oh, fuck that shit. No meetings. I'm out of here.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know. Where did they come from? Who let them on the ship? We have a stowaway?
Yeah, we do actually, and I'm about to go get rid of it. I start shimmering back down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for Thorvald's head, and I'm gonna
Okay.
freaking toss it overboard.
Wait,
In fact, actually, before I toss it overboard, I'm gonna try and find a current that will take it away from us.
Give me a nature check on that one with disadvantage, please.
Did we speak to his head already?
No.
Why don't we try that?
Yeah, why don't we try that?
Well, you guys got like a couple of minutes because
Darn! I come in and I wrap myself around him.
nature is 12.
Okay.
Stop it.
I mean, it's late
it's
at
just
night.
stuck
It's
to the
going to
head.
be hard to kind of figure out a current that's going to make this happen automatically. But
Darn,
both
please.
Jin and Omni kind of stop you for a moment. And they're like,
You're so little but so strong.
This thin, wafy form of gin is just kind of being tossed around. Meanwhile, Gathar's just casually walking over to the edge of the rail with like
No.
the
Let me talk to
bucket,
him. Let me
you
talk.
know.
Let me.
You
Jin,
all right,
don't
but
waste
you better
these
not ask
questions.
any stupid questions like your day
Don't
shift
waste
counterpart
these
does.
questions.
What are you
What
talking about?
is
Wasting
your
questions.
favorite color?
Don't ask them their
What
favorite
is the average
color.
speed of
Why
a
the
swallow?
fuck would I
European or
give a
African?
shit about what their favorite color is?
I'm just laying some ground rules because the other
Oh,
version
because
is
you asked them.
No,
That
no.
You wasted
no.
questions.
They
on
just
asking-
did it.
Who's they? You or they?
You,
They, them,
Jin.
me?
Yes, you. Alter
No,
you.
I don't.
Yeah,
think
your
that's true.
dumbass self.
Gatharn, I thought we were developing something nice.
Fair
Oh
point.
my
Yeah, you're
god!
just using-
Cast the freaking spell.
Okay.
You guys watch as Gatharn pulls the head out of the pickle barrel, sets
I
it
shove my hand up
on
in
the
there.
ground. That's really gross, Jin.
Spirit, it's Taco Dead. I've got the lovely bunch of coconuts.
All lined up in a row.
Jin, as you kind of form the spell, you cast it, you feel the arcane energy kind of absorb into the head. Absolutely no reaction from it.
Fucking useless.
Or the soul is no longer dead, and therefore you cannot speak with it.
I don't like the way you're talking to me, little man. You need to adjust your behavior, sir.
It's currently
I mean-
saturated in alcohol, right?
Yeah, it's fairly well preserved.
I'll firebolt it.
No. If
I'll
Thorvald's
fireball
tracking
it.
the fucking head like I think he is, if we send this on an alternate course, then he won't know where we're going. We'll send him on a kind of wild goose chase thingy.
Yeah, but why can't I firebolt it?
Because if you destroy the fucking head, he's got nothing to track.
It's not gonna destroy it. It's just gonna burn it a little bit.
Yeah, but why can't he firebolt it?
Yeah, like I still don't see how that's ruining the plan.
Yeah.
No head, no tracking.
It's floating in the ocean. The flames will get. I don't. It's
Just
taking away all
firebolt
of
it,
the
Captain. You're
fun.
the captain. Why are you
I
asking
know.
them?
It would be fun to see a alcohol-soaked head burn as it's floating across the sea. Like that's.
Well, use the one in the fucking piss pot.
That's my head.
Oh, now you want it.
Well, now you told me that it's mine. I don't want him to just be using my head willy-nilly.
Oh my god.
It's my property now.
Stormlord, will you help me out, please? Something.
The Storm
Oh, I
Lord,
think
he
you got a
says.
lot of atonement to do with the Stolen Lord.
You know, you guys know you're in trouble when even Omni starts to like project out to the gods.
Have you ever heard of a more made-up god's name? The Storm Lord? That's a title.
So what are you guys doing with the head? Are you tossing it, Gatharn? And right now, whether or not you find a proper current, it's really hard to tell for sure.
Well, if you guys can find a proper current, we could, in theory, if my assumption is correct, send Thorvald off in a different route while we safely make our way to Nicodranus in the next 4 days. Otherwise, this thing could follow behind us, or he might realize that we found out where he was going and try and deduce where we were going.
But what happens if we sink the head and now he's just like, oh, they sunk the ship?
Motherfucker can raise dead. He probably just send one of his zombie thralls down below to check.
Yeah, but then we're not there and it takes time. And then there's currents under the water, right? Wherever that's drifting to.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the captain's quarters then.
Yeah, you're kind of useless here.
Omni, as you watch Jin and Gatharn kind of like go over the machinations of what to do with a pickled alcohol-soaked head, you head off to the captain's quarters. The crew is just enamored with what they're seeing right now. At least the crew that's on the normal rotation of keeping watch and everything.
Is Wendy up and about?
Yeah, she would be up.
I ask her if she can kind of discern if there's a cross current that'll take it out of our path.
You watch as her eyes warg for a second, and she goes, "The currents in this area are quite erratic to begin with. If we were to leave it to float on the surface, I believe it would have the effect that you're looking for."
What if we launch it in a certain direction with the ballast, with the
I don't believe these currents are predictable in that way, sir. This is more about taking advantage of the random nature of things, but there's a high probability it will take it out towards the deeper Lucidian Sea.
Brenda, if you don't know what
All right.
the currents are, just say so.
Her name is Wendy. I yell from the captain's quarters.
Hey, Stitches.
Your name is
I
Wendy?
need some paint.
Yeah, sure.
I go grab my head.
Can Wendy like
I
communicate
can
with
launch mine
animals
further.
at all? Like we could just get a friendly. I can communicate
say
with
whale,
animals.
because
I don't
we
know
just
why I'm
got
asking
one.
this. No, I was gonna say we can get a friendly fish folk to like tow the.
Friendly fish folk.
That's not an animal, man. Those are people. They're sentient.
No,
You guys watch as a Mr. Limpet tuna kind of floats.
I'm
to the
saying
surface.
like we get a tuna
like,
or an
no.
octopus
Wait,
or
yeah,
something
I'll
to
suppose
just
I can
like
You were
to
lying now as a
swim
tuna?
to
Me and my
swim
600-pound
with
buddies?
the head in a jar in another direction. That's not a weird,
You're
crazy,
in my
bizarre
environment
thing.
now.
Have a aquatic animal help us out. Is she not that kind of
Yeah, and
druid?
like
I'm asking
Omni
her
comes walking
capabilities.
out of the captain's quarter with this like
Just
amazing
manic?
new idea. This
White powder on his face?
Yeah. This very like heavy manic like conversation about this, and the druid looks over at you, Omni, goes, I think I could do that. That shouldn't be too impossible. Hold on a second. As she kind of leans over and she closes her eyes for a moment, and you watch as this kind of like a small school of dolphins kind of float to the surface. She's chittering and kind of having a communication with one of them. She goes, if you provide me the head, I can certainly give it to the one that leads this pod, and they would
Put it
be
in a
glad to
jar.
send it in a direction that you choose to send it.
Yeah, just tow it however far they want to go. In what direction?
Well, the real question is it going to appear obvious if we make it in a direction other than the fact that we've been heading towards the coast for the better part of 4 days?
Ooh, let's send it
towards
to
the
the
Twin
ones,
Twin
the 8 ships that were chasing the Hawk. Send it to those ships.
That we would do a 180. We'd be going in
Yeah.
the exact opposite direction where we were going.
Well, I mean,
we
we
want
are
it to go
going
away
to-
from us, but it'll take Thorvald to his enemy ships, so there could be and they can continue to go at each other.
Well, if we're about 3 to 4 days travel from the Twinward Isles, we're probably about 2 days travel from Port Zune at this point.
Probably.
It was
2
like,
to
well,
3.
why don't we just send it towards Port Zune?
That
Do you
would be a
think
bit more
Thorvald
subtle, a
will
little bit more
follow?
believable, I think.
Yeah, if we send it to Port Zune, it's still under the control of the Clovis Concord.
I mean, they're only going to linger for so long, Captain. What should
Cool,
I do?
send them that way. Perfect. Go.
Meanwhile, Regan
And give them
Githarn
some
has
fish.
been writing
Give them
a
some tuna
letter
or something.
to Thorvald on the barrel.
Sure. Grabs the very rubbery alcohol-soaked head, puts it in a bag, drops it down, does some chittering noises. The small paw
Wait,
dolphin.
I wasn't done writing my letter on his face.
What are you writing, Cathar?
Actually, I'm just drawing dicks.
Oh, you're so weird. And she tosses it down.
Yeah,
to the
but
pot
it's
of
gonna be
dolphins.
great when he pulls it out. He's gonna see all these dicks on his face.
And you watch as the pot of dolphins just submerge under the water and disappear. And she kind of goes back to her kind of normal routine. It's getting later into the evening of the 4th day. Anything else you guys want to do? I mean, you crammed a lot in today.
Before I go to sleep, I am going to have a heart-to-heart with Keth in regards to what does the Cobalt Soul know about Thorvald? Why were they investigating Thorvald? What information can she share after I share with her the fact that Thorvald is the one that just attacked us and is currently in pursuit?
Okay, so we'll save that because that's going to take a few minutes to sort out. Omni, what do you want to do for the remaining evening at this point?
I was gonna see if Gromit ever got around to finishing the platinum rings for everybody, and was gonna go and like hand those out to all of the crew and give them a little spiel of what it means to be part of the crew and on Storm's Eye, and what that means for each other, and you know, the whole Captain Rousel speech. Not a rousing speech, but like to in a group sense, but just, you know,
Arousal speech?
Right.
trying to instill
Arousal speech.
trying to instill loyalty for the person next to you.
Yeah,
Very
just
good
kind of like that kind of speech. Like, I know you've seen some weird shit in the last couple of days,
Yeah.
but
It's about to get weirder.
trying to kind of bring that more morale back into center focus on the condition of the crew and less about the weird shit that's going on at this point.
And just
Gothard during this whole speech is talking to whoever is right next to him, making body jokes about like innuendos and stuff.
I was
like
going
that.
up to people individually, one at a time.
Yeah,
Gothard and I just happen to be standing next to each other.
As a base number, Omni, give me persuasion with advantage. Because they are loyal to you. You've already done this on numerous occasions. The speech you gave back in Earl Bay and the Revels.
I'm also letting them know that with this, they will be protected. And if there's ever a time when they really need it, I can add some. I can help protect them from potentially some critical damage because it's a part of a spell component.
Fair enough.
And
yeah.
I want them to also know that when we get to a point where we are able to find somebody who's an enchanter, they're going to be communication devices for us as well, so that they'll always have a crewmate that is, you know, nearby or that can be
That's
reached
a pretty
if they're
boss
ever
spell.
in
What
trouble.
spell is that? What's that spell related to?
No,
Warding
it's
wall?
like kind of like a communication stone.
Okay,
Whenever we can find it to get these rings enchanted, so that we have. This,
that's part of that project that you're working on with the rings. Gotcha.
Yeah, as soon as he mentioned something about utilizing the rings to be able to communicate with one another and whatnot, Gatharn fishes out the freaking whispering ear that Hawk gave us and throws it overboard.
You guys watch as Gatharn pulls out the fob with the silver ear emblem and tosses it over the railing. You watch as Medi tosses hers over the railing. Both you and Jin have one.
They figured the Hawk could actually check us with those.
Most likely. And I'll go down and I'll whisper into it, "Fuck off." And I'll chuck it as well.
Okay. Jin?
You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm. With advantage. Because both Nala and Brackus have done a pretty good job of keeping up the crew's morale.
26.
Okay.
Jin's holding on to his because he's a double agent, man.
He's a Marquesian spy for sure.
Oh, yeah. That day when Jin had fucked off, he was actually with the Hawk. They were bumping uglies.
Probably.
Yep.
I'm going to roll perception and see if I notice if Jin decided to throw his or not. Oh, natural 20.
With your modifier?
Perception 25.
Okay. Jin, it's your call.
I also got a natural 20.
But with sleight of hand.
What's your deception or sleight of hand? It's up to you.
Oh, deception then. 29.
29. Yeah, you watch as Jin looks like he throws the fob overboard.
Jizz is so mad.
Lie.
Jess's face.
No. Take a picture for you right now.
Oh my god.
I haven't touched my tray.
Because that means nothing.
I haven't touched my tray. I was over here flipping you up.
I can take a photo of any D20 at any given
No,
day.
you know I like my blue one.
Put your balls in it so we know it's yours.
That. You don't timestamp that. You know
Put
how
your
many
balls in it so we know it's
D20s?
yours.
You know how many D20s with balls Vince
So
has
from what you can
taken?
tell, Gatharn, both
So many.
Omni and Jin kind of recognize what you indicate through throwing the fob overboard, as you watch both Jin and Omni throw their fobs overboard as well. Although from Jin's perspective, he secretly chucked a silver piece instead of a fob to kind of create the illusion.
I lose a silver.
You do lose a silver. To create the illusion that something heavy and metal and was kind of tossed overboard. There's some argument up on the main deck between the two of them at some point, but you make your way down below deck into the cruise deck, which is a pretty small, compact area. Sitting over and having a late meal is Keth, as she seems to be reading out of a small book, and she's kind of like just casually eating a small bowl of soup. She notices you kind of come in, you approach her, and she goes, "Oh, Gatharn, it's a little late to be training tonight. Is everything okay?"
Yeah. Just got some questions. Namely,
Oh, please sit down. Feel free.
Thought you should know. Thorvald is alive and well, and is chasing us with a crew full of monsters.
You don't even need to roll. She doesn't react at all. There's no surprise from this conversation. She just looks at you intently. That's interesting information. Why tell me?
Because you were investigating them, so I want to know what we're actually getting ourselves into.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's going to be a natural 7. Oh, wait, no, that's a 2. So I rolled a 3.
She looks up at you, or she looks over at you as you're kind of sitting across from her. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why that's relevant. We weren't necessarily overtly suspicious of him as an individual. It was mostly his activities that he was doing.
All right, you're thinking I'm stupid when I'm not.
Oh, it's not about a measure of intelligence. I can honestly tell you that our focus on Thorvald has been his activities, Gatharn. Not so much him. I mean, I don't actually have much information on him as a person. It's more of what his organizations were doing that caused him to come into existence within the Cobalt Souls concern. Expositor Malform, he was convinced that with the recent purchases of the majority of the lesser guilds by Thorvald's large guild, there was some genuine concern that he was up to either making efforts to corner the particular markets and trades, and we felt that this was a danger towards either political or economic stability within the general idea of what guilds are supposed to be involved in. We felt that he was making moves that looked suspicious.
All right, and so
I can assure you, Gatharn, I am on a discovery voyage as much as you are.
Who's this Expositor Malform dude?
Expositor Malform, for all intents and purposes, is my handler, my contact. He is based out of Palmaflora, a small location that we have located there. We've been gathering information on some activities of these smaller guilds that have been operating within the Bazalde Peninsula, as well as their activities on the Beseft Isle. But we've not really found any concrete information that we felt was reliable. My contact decided to insert me into the Revels and try to get me directly in the good graces of Thorvald as quickly as possible. Therefore, here I am.
And what about your cohort that's on the Blue Thorn?
Well, there's some hesitation. We do believe in the art of redundancy, if you catch my meaning. I actually don't know who she is. I know of them, but I don't know who they are.
Oh, I do. It's Gwyneth Hardbottom.
I really wish you wouldn't have told me that.
Well, too bad. You now know. This is for the cap. This is for the crew. This is for the ship. This is our asses on the line. And I've already told you straight up. I'll do whatever it means to protect the ship and the crew.
She stops for a moment and looks very intently at you. Cathan, I understand your point. And it is a point that is well taken. I don't know enough about Thorvald's activity. And the redundancy that the Cobalt Soul puts in place is more about the individual protection of its agents versus the information that we're attempting to acquire. If I'm ever taken captive and forced to reveal any information in regards to other agents working on this subject matter, I am now putting that person at risk. I understand that there is concern here. I truly do. But you must understand there's a greater picture at play here. Thorvald is conducting an economic collapse of an entire region, and we don't know why. We have no understanding why he's doing this. And we came from a location that has been a traditional gathering place that he's been using for well over a decade to gain and ingratiate himself with all of the independent captains along the coast. I just feel like
where does
to know
this
more.
Gregore? Is it Gregore? No, Gregore was the Lich.
Are you talking about the current Zehefe?
The dude that's in charge, the one that sent Trinity on that suicide mission. Where's his name? I have too many notes. I'm going to have to freaking put this shit in.
The head of the Clovis Conclave.
Right, the current Zehefe is actually Gregor. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote next to him freaking Lich, possible vampire lord.
No, I think you wrote that because there might be a possible link between Gregor and the unknown Lich and Vampire Lord, because you don't actually know their names. You just know Gregor's name. And Zehefe Gregor has purposely been prosecuting a campaign against the guilds and the lesser guilds. And this was the reason why Thorvald had given all of you as to what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. That's a presumptive dialogue, not necessarily the truth or a lie. It's just assumed that's what he stated at some point.
I need to make more comprehensive notes instead of like little freaking things. I've got
the recap
Gregor, like
from a bit.
So I think this was just supposition on my part, was freaking Gregor is the Lich and the sister's employer. Gregor is a vampire. Droxus of the False Weird. So I know I wrote it before then. And then there's Valenth Erasis, who is a member of the Nicodranus nobility.
Yep.
But it was Gregor who's the one that was in cahoots with Trinity, right?
Gregor wasn't necessarily in cahoots. As it was explained by Thorvald, Trinity had taken a contract that Thorvald felt Trinity was forced to take by Gregor's influence. And he was forced to move during the hurricane season out towards an island to meet a ship and to pick up an item. And that's when you guys were a crew on Trinity's ship. And then it was destroyed in the hurricane, and then you were picked up by Captain Raylene, the goblin who eventually kind of injected you into all of this activity that's been going on.
It's all Raylene's fault. Another thing that would help is if I like freaking get all my notes into one location.
Well, there's that.
Well, sometimes I just grab whatever's nearest available and start writing down on that. Like, this seems important.
I get it completely. I totally get it.
So for all of our new players out there, or people that are wanting to learn the game, if you wind up being a note taker, make sure you actually, have a dedicated notepad.
Kath kind of looks at you and goes, Gathon, I appreciate everything you've done for me. You've instilled some trust in me, and I definitely have an appreciation for that. But can you honestly say that you know enough about what's going on that you could presume to understand everything?
I don't need to understand everything. I just need to understand enough of what'll keep the crew and the ship safe.
I think the captain has that in mind, don't you?
Sometimes the captain's greed gets in their line of sight, such as staying behind for too long a period, looting corpses when we should have been making sail. But that's my own opinion. He's captain. I'll follow their orders.
We got a bunch of ammo and weapons, and nobody caught us.
By the skin of our fucking teeth, you fucking crow.
We were fine. They were 1,000 feet out. They didn't have range.
No, they were like 2 minutes away from range. Okay.
So
I found my other
we were
ones.
in a
Apparently, I
safe
wrote
time.
Gregor
Okay,
was a
whatever.
Marquis.
Correct.
That's what I
He's a
wrote.
member of the Zehefe family. Gregor is the Grand Marquis of Nicodranus, and therefore the current head of the family that runs the Clovis Conclave.
How do you spell Zehefe? Because I'm just spelling it as Zejefe.
That'll work.
Because it's Spanish in French. Zehefe.
So as your conversation concludes with Keth, unless you have
Well, I
any more questions
do
for her.
tell her that we're going to make port in Nicodranus in about 4 days. And if there's a way for her to tell her people, she should
She
give
looks
them a
at
heads
you
up.
and she goes, well, with that in mind, there is an expositor we can connect with in Nicodranus. Would you care to join me in that conversation?
Yeah, I'll join you with that on that conversation.
Zaheffeh.
I like Zehefe better.
Okay,
So with
well,
that,
I asked
the
last time.
fourth night comes to a conclusion. All of you begin to settle into your long rest to get ready for the 5th day of travel.
I spend time focusing on the compass,
Okay.
trying to
You
figure
would-
out more stuff it does.
Now, can I just summon that globe, or do I need to be in proximity to the compass?
You get the feeling that the globe, that the compass and the flag are designed to work together.
By your
All right, so
powers
they need to be in
combined.
proximity.
You get that vibe. And as we finish the 4th day of travel, and you guys wake up the following morning for the 5th day of travel, you wake up to the sound of 4 bells, and you wake up to the sound of something pointing off into the horizon. And once again, another ruined ship is off on the horizon. And then another. Then another. And then another. As we conclude this session, the lookout reports some dozen destroyed ships floating off on the horizon on the 5th day of travel. And everybody hang out because we're going to raid some folks. Because I really appreciate Time Lord's wife coming over and raiding us. We also had some new followers today, and I really appreciate that. We will be back here next Sunday. If you're watching and you're interested, join our Discord. We do a monthly giveaway over in our Discord. We will be back here in less than an hour with our live studio game, The Absent Throne. That is one of our newbie campaigns that we've kind of kicked off. We are working on a new live game that will be coming to you Mondays out of our studio as well. We have Denizens and Masters on Tuesdays, along with Titans Revival, The Descendants on Wednesday, our Star Wars campaign on Thursday. Friday is kind of an open creative day that I like to do some creative stuff. And then Saturday, we are over at the D&D Club with the Grain Lands. And Sunday is Debtors, Gambit, and Absent Throne. So thank you to all the folks that came in. I really appreciate it. And as I always say, stay safe Be kind. Play a game.
Play a
it's really
game.
important. Hang out
You
and
didn't
go raiding with
do it.
us. We're gonna find someone to raid. So hang out with us. We'll be back.
Brandon, you're supposed to say play a game with us.
Play with yourselves.
Play with yourselves.
Go play with yourselves. Yeah.
You guys took away the wholesomeness of my thing.
Where did Vince go? He just bounced on
His
us.
power
didn't
went
he?
out.
Oh, it did? Really?
Yeah. He messaged us in Discord.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Let's see. Who shall we raid? I've got a couple people I love to follow and hang out with. Let's go.
How many? And then
Later
let's roll a
raids.
dice.
Say that again.
How many? And let's roll a dice.
I know, right? Ooh, let's go raid Hops and Dragons. They're kind of fun. I like to hang out and listen to them chat.
I rolled a
each
6
other
on a
from time to time.
D6. So.
Ready to raid.
Let's raid.
Raid.
No, that's through Twitch, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. It allows us to go help support other channels and stuff.
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
Dope.
Ooh, we got a party of 11? What?
I
Badass.
know. Time Lord's wife, a lot of them lingered for a while. It was very nice of them to pop in. Oh my God, I got to prepare for another game. Holy buckets.